Right, hopefully you can hear me now. I had to just restart the computer. So hopefully we're all up and running now. So just give us the thumbs up if you can hear us all right. Don't ask me why, it's just... Right, hopefully you can hear me now. I had to just restart the... That's just technology for your PCs, computers, whatnot. I don't know what happened. But I just restarted the PC and everything's fine again, so... Bizarre. Welcome to the stream anyway. Sorry if anybody's left because of the audio went down, but it's just one of those glitches that happens. Doubt we can do about it. Luckily, I've got it sorted though.
In the game, although Jimmy felt that was, people were starting to get a grip of that. Personally, I think
yeah, it's just it's just a PC warming up, mate. It'll sort itself out in a minute.
A modern stadium, and it's over a quarter of a century old. But it's that Roker Park. As much as I loved Roker Park as much as anybody, Roker Park should really be best fitted rather than being knocked down. It would have been ideal if it was taken down and rebuilt in Beamish. That's where it really could have existed, but now most clubs have got modern.
Just loaded. I've just turned the laptop on, so it'll just take a bit of time to get warmed up.
Personally, I loathe VAR with a capital V, capital A, and a capital R. And,
hello, Ian Curry, mate. How are you doing?
I really disliked it. I disliked the idea before it came in. I dislike it even more now. I've been very interested to see Ange Postecoglou and Gareth Southgate come out this week and say that they don't like it either. To me, it ruins the game. I think it takes a lot of the spontaneity of the excitement of a goal being scored out of the game. Yes, sometimes you get goals that should or shouldn't have been given and so on. I think we were sold VAR by the TV companies because the
lag will settle down.
We were told it would only be for clear and obvious problems, and now we see goals being disallowed because somebody's half an inch offside, and we've taken 3 minutes to find out.
It seems VAR is the clear and obvious problem.
Yeah, well, that's a very good thing to say.
And another thing about modern football is if Gary tackled David Speedy as he now, you'd be still inside. I think. I mean,
the biggest thing for me. We've got to move with the times, but I think the biggest thing which we miss is the character. Characters in the game, and even the stadiums. You talk about Roker Park. There was something special,
absolutely, about
Roker Park.
Yeah.
And you can go back to numerous old clubs. They had something special. You can go back to even to Highbury. Having the marble and the entrance and everything like that. You miss all that.
And Plymouth Argyle,
going up towards the grounds and the smell of the burgers and all that. That's and the players. That's the character. I think that's missing out of the game.
I love Roker Park as much as anybody. But again, speaking as a Roker end, when I was silly enough to go in the Roker end every game, regardless of the weather, and I can still tell you now the games when it poured at Roker Park, because my football programmes that would have been inside me park would get dried out on the radiator. I would get home and look at my collection now, when the ones that are brittle are the ones when it chucked it down.
Sometimes the laptop will do sort of
and the toilet facilities and everything
at
Roker Park were
in the background and things like that, so
prehistoric really.
And it'll settle down.
But yes, I totally agree in terms of the character.
I loved Roker Park.
I absolutely loved and adored Roker Park. But had we still been at Roker Park now, given the lack of ability to develop the ground because it was surrounded by housing, it would have. Well, the classic example is Everton, who were about to leave Goodison Park.
Yes, let's have a look.
Stayed at Goodison Park all these years, and I went down to Goodison about this time last year to see the game, simply as my own personal farewell to Goodison Park, because it reminded me so much of Roker Park. The stands were built by the same designer, Archibald Leach. Everton, like Sunderland did at Roker Park, still run out of Z cars, etc., etc., etc. But it is a museum piece.
Yeah.
Whereas now most grounds in the country, like Sunderland, are purpose-built for the 21st century, not built in the 19th century as Roker Park was.
Railton, back in the studio, has done a count of managers since 1926. And he says it looks like 53 managers, although one or two came back as caretakers, like Bob Stokoe. So 53 managers in George Forster's lifetime. That's going, son.
And George has probably told them all. George has probably told them all we need a taller team. Yeah. I've been with George when he's been in with several Sunderland managers in meetings. I can think of Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce, Gus Poyet, amongst others, where George has been invited along to talk to the manager, and I've gone along with him. And George would always tell them, he might not say so much now, because as well as decreasing the average age of the team, I think we've increased the average height over the last year. But George has been railing on for years, saying we need a bigger team. He's constantly told managers that.
I think what you should do, ask him to name him.
We might be here a long time.
Yeah,
absolutely. Ian. What the fuck is this VC doing today?
Weren't creating, I would be scratching my head.
Yeah, we're back up and running again.
I think why not with the players that we've got, so we just need to keep getting into good habits and keep getting into the
yeah, it's just what's been happening. The Windows has been running an update in the background, and when it does it just slows all the other programs down, so my apologies for a bit of the lag.
To look at it and say, does it
it's just one of those things.
It clearly has for you with the other teams in the division as well.
Yeah. I think people probably underestimate how hard it is to coach a part-time team in a full-time league. It was really challenging, really difficult. You're not just trying to manage them here, you're trying to manage them when they're not here as well. And you know, in the end, you know, we survived last season by the scruff of our neck, I suppose, and we're on the end of some unlucky results, so to speak. But you know, now being full-time, I think you can see what the staff can do with a full-time team, and you know, we just need to keep building that and, you know, hopefully keep strengthening the team going forward.
And back on the bus at the weekend. I mean, your away form has been good.
Yeah, it has.
There should be no fears for you going to St Andrews.
No, we got a good result there last year as well. It's not too far away. We are travelling Saturday to stay over. Preparation will be done properly. And, you know, they're a good team, and we have to be at our best to take something from the game.
Total Sport North East.
Live from the Stadium of Light.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
That's good of you, Ian, mate.
Now, Ray, talking about their win over Watford women last week, and looking forward to Birmingham City women tomorrow afternoon. Just a reminder, Anthony Patterson and Tony Mowbray to come before kick-off here at 12:30 this afternoon. Same team for Sunderland, no changes, 2 changes for Middlesbrough this afternoon. Plenty happening over the weekend, plenty happening this afternoon, rounding it all up, wrapping it all up, and putting the gloss on it all in the BBC Radio Newcastle studio is Dominic James.
Nick and Gary, thank you very much for now. We'll head back to the Stadium of Light shortly to continue build-up to Sunderland versus Middlesbrough, the first of 3 football commentaries this weekend here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Let me just take you through some of the other Championship fixtures today. Cardiff against Watford, Coventry versus Norwich, Ipswich taking on Preston, Leeds are up against Bristol, Leicester City against Stoke, Millwall taking on Hull, Plymouth versus Swansea, QPR go up against Blackburn, Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough take on Huddersfield Town, Southampton versus Rotherham. Last night Birmingham beat West Brom 3-1. Today in the Premier League, in the early kick-off at 12:30, it's Luton versus Tottenham, Burnley. The rest are 3 o'clocks.
How are they,
Burnley
lads?
versus Chelsea, Everton versus Bournemouth, Fulham go up against Sheffield United, Manchester United versus Brentford. And actually in the 5:30 today in the Premier League, it's Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. Newcastle, of course, in action tomorrow at 2 o'clock. They take on West Ham. Here's the Magpies head coach, Eddie Howe.
Yes, I will be switching computers and stuff. I will be
an obvious threat from
using my desktop computer after this one. It's got more power, it's got more kick, and it'll be a lot
that's
better.
Why for us, a case of refocusing and not being
stream
distracted
quality.
affected anyway by the performance on Wednesday. It's going to be a mental challenge again for us, much like it was for us after the Milan game to Sheffield United. Players dealt with that week really well, and this is another test for us.
That is Newcastle United head coach Eddie Howe. His full interview is available on BBC Sound's build-up for West Ham versus Newcastle. Starts from 1 o'clock here on BBC Radio Newcastle tomorrow. It's a non-league today, and our secondary commentary of the day. It's in National League. Gateshead taking on Altrincham, Colin White and Charlotte Potts, with a full match commentary.
How you doing, Lynn? You all right?
3 Gateshead flying at the moment, 4th in the table.
Yeah, I'm on live on my channel if you want to pop in for 10 minutes and have a crack on before Man starts his up.
Player manager Mike Williamson.
You're going to see 2 teams with an identity that want to play.
How are you doing? Have you had a good Friday night?
We played against them here, but it was in the cup and they absolutely dismantled us, and we ended up going through. And that's the beauty of football. Because I think I
was absolutely shattered last night. I watched the stream, but I didn't. I was just too mentally knackered to go on and have a crack on. Sometimes I get like that on a occasion on a Friday if I've been really busy.
Something that's an anomaly. It doesn't normally happen. So now it's up to us.
It was a good show.
In our favour, but these games you look forward to, like the last one we had against Wealdstone, 2 really good footballing teams.
Just to tie it.
Either side,
just to tie it,
and boys have just got to focus on the preparation and how we go about it.
That is the Gateshead player manager Mike Williamson there, speaking ahead of their game with Altrincham this afternoon, which we have full match commentary here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Other non-league fixtures today in the National League North: Blythe Spartans away to Banbury United. South Shields.
Hey, I can see the option. Yeah.
In the FA Trophy this afternoon to the 3rd round qualifying, Morpeth Town welcome FC United of Manchester to Craig Park. In the Northern Premier League East Division, Hebburn go away to Newton Aycliffe Ashington, at home to Stockton Concert. Also at home they face Ossett United. Dunstan are away this afternoon. They take on Pontefract Collieries. And in the Scottish Lowland League today, Berwick Rangers are at home to East Kilbride. We'll round up all of today's non-league fixtures in our non-league roundup at around 5:40 this evening. On Sunday in the Women's Championship, it's Durham against Charlton. Durham going away to Charlton there. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. As we've already heard, Sunderland are away to Birmingham. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. In the Women's National League, Newcastle United are away to Liverpool Feds. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. Away from football then, in the Rugby Union World Cup in Pool D today, England against Samoa. That's a 4:45 kickoff, and England's head coach Steve Borthwick is expecting a tough afternoon.
I think Samoa are a really strong side. They're powerful, they've got a lot of pace, and they play a physical type of rugby. And what we face is inexperienced players. You see Sopoaga at 10, McFarland in the back row, Luatua in the back row. You're seeing really top quality players. So I think our preparation has been strong. I'm really pleased with the team that we put out this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go on Saturday.
Do you think scrummaging will be particularly big earlier on in the game?
Scrummaging is always very important. You're talking to a type 5 forward here. Scrummaging is always very important. And I think scrums, doesn't matter how many you are, if you have less scrums, each one is even more important. What we see is a big Samoan pack that's got a lot of power in it, and I think Dan Cole's the right person to start this game. And I think that front row, I think they all know each other pretty well, played a good number of games with each other, and I think that's the right one to start. I think you then look at the bench, and I start seeing. You mentioned Kyle coming on. His athleticism that he brings as a tight prop.
I just sent you a screenshot what I seen on my thingy. I don't think it's spam.
And Joe, the experience he brings onto the pitch. So I think we're in a strong position there in the front row.
That's the England head coach Steve Borthwick there, speaking ahead of England.
It's going to be a tough game today, I think.
At 4:45, England, of course, already through to the knockout stages in Pool B, though. It's Ireland versus Scotland at 8 o'clock tonight. Scotland having to win by a bonus point or denying Ireland to a losing bonus point to progress from Pool B and reach the quarterfinals at Ireland's expense. Only a Scotland win by an unlikely 21 points or more with Ireland collecting a single losing bonus point would take both sides through at the expense of South Africa. Not complicated.
I'm trying to find my membership tabs on my mobile
Wales
phone.
versus Georgia. That one gets underway at 2. In Rugby Union's Premiership Cup, tomorrow the Newcastle Falcons are against Caldy. Dean Gray and Tamara Taylor will have full match commentary through the BBC Sport website and app. And Dean has been chatting to the Falcons head coach, Alex Codling.
Without question, we've already seen from the first 40 minutes at Amped Hill, from our game against Bedford, there's a lot of quality in the Championship. They're tough games, and also that this for Caldy will be a huge game for them, as much as it's our first time. I know from my experience in the Championship how much they've looked forward to playing the Premiership teams. So this will be their last shout effectively in the Cup competition this year. So we're not certainly not.
Ian Curry's just saying same lineup as Wednesday. Got 2 youngsters on the bench.
Really taking a step forward after last week.
The Newcastle Falcons head coach Alex Codling there, speaking ahead of the Falcons Premiership Cup match at home to Codling tomorrow at 2:15 kickoff. Basketball, and last night in the BBL Championship, the Newcastle Eagles, they lost 92 points to 85. They back in action on Sunday as they go away to the Sheffield Sharks. In the world,
it's all right, Ian. Thanks, mate. It's very kind of you, pal, Ian. I just wasn't sure whether that was like spam from a bot or something. But if that's definitely you, mate, that's good of you. Thanks a lot, pal.
Are away to the win as well. That's all you rounded up for the local sport over the weekend. It's time to head back to the Stadium of Light now to continue build up to Sunderland versus Middlesbrough in the company of Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Did you guys sleep all right? Were you up early this morning?
We're talking about kids' TV shows and your issue with them, all right? Joan in Whitley Bay is on the phone.
Oh, I've got a big issue with Mr. Ben. A grown man, and he goes into...
Has any of you lot got the new FIFA 24? Is it good?
Adventure as that character. Very interesting as that is. And then he comes back to the office, presumably.
I'm tempted to get it. Like, it's had slating reviews about the gameplay is constantly lagging and glitching.
Never mind, I just watched it.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6. BBC Radio Newcastle.
I suppose the best thing you can do is get it for...
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
You can get it for Steam. You can trial it for 10 hours. Test it. But it does look good. I like the way the crowd celebrate when you score, and the animation looks better in the crowd as well.
He's one of the club cameramen. He's down there in his T-shirt today. Actually,
knows me, but he's been
in December, so...
Yeah.
Can't probably judge.
You see, when you scored in the previous FIFAs, the crowd used to jump up and down and look good, but it looked too robotic. It's like they all jumped up in synchronisation, but it seems more natural now when you score, so it just looks better. I don't know whether you've noticed that.
Right, and Huggins on the left this afternoon.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because they've got a player called Isaiah Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has got a little bit of pace.
It's just the way they jumped up. I don't know if you know what I mean, but when you scored last time, it's like 10,000 behind the goal would all jump up at the same time, and it just looks a bit false. But this now looks more natural and more.
So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. And talking of pace, Emmanuel Latte-Laff. I watched the clips of him scoring against Cardiff.
Yeah, that's what Darth says. More natural. Looks more individual. It's like when you score, it's like the individual people in the crowd seem to be jumping at different times. It just looks more natural.
It'll be very interesting to see. He's an Ivory Coast. He's not an international as yet, but I think it's only a matter of time. Watching and hearing the reports about him, 24-year-old, very, very quick. Anyway, he's on the bench for Middlesbrough this afternoon. As the team
I did notice in the last FIFA when you were playing away from home and all the crowd was sitting down. When you scored a goal, all the home crowd would simultaneously stand up for about a second and then sit down, and then the away fans would start celebrating. It just looked shite.
After the 2-0 win over Watford.
It was just weird.
Anthony, first and foremost, from your perspective, clean sheet.
Yeah, another clean sheet. Obviously, really pleased to come out with another clean sheet. I think the boys worked really hard in front of us and defended the goal really well tonight, which gave us a platform to be able to get that clean sheet.
How frustrating when you look back now is that Cardiff game, because it was there for the taking. I mean, speaking to Niall Huggins and others.
I'm thinking I'm getting it like it's. I know it's nearly 60 quid, like, but I do get a lot of fun playing the FIFA games. Like,
obviously, look at the possession we had, the chances we created. Like you say, on another day we could have won that comfortably.
Plus, for
3-3
copyright
now, but,
things as well, I'm going to see if I can
it's not how it works
emulate
out,
and copy. Say there's like a fantastic goal
the
Liverpool have scored, like a 30-yard
the whole
screamer.
game plan,
I'm
really.
going to see if I can
You
try my
didn't have a
best to
huge
copy it
amount
on
to do
FIFA and
tonight,
upload it
but I
onto
suppose that
YouTube,
credit as
and
well
I won't get
to
done for copyright.
those in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. If you look throughout the course of the season, really, I've been kept pretty quiet.
That's the only way you can do
the
it.
lads in front of us have done a great job.
What is the secret of that, building a sort of a defence that you, I guess, you all feel that you trust
So
each
if you're
other?
doing a game and
a talking, is there
a
a
match,
going on that we
a
don't
goal
see, we can't hear
Liverpool
from
scored
where we are?
virtually. I don't know if you've seen one, but I did Jack Clark. I copied Jack Clark's goal against.
Plenty of organisation, of course, and
Yeah. And if I can get it nearest as that, of like the big teams and stuff, and upload it as a short, then there's no way they can touch it for copyright because of it, because it's your 100% your content.
Ever so slightly, a slight tweak, but it was the same style of play for us, really, and yeah.
Tony
I know.
Mowbray said
Me personally,
season, I don't really look at
they can get rid of
way the
FIFA
table's
Ultimate
coming out,
Team,
so
and it would be
about
great
10
if they had
games
every
in, you're 10
stadium that
games
was
in,
the
now you're
stadium
fourth in the
right
table.
throughout the football
Do you
divisions,
think
Premier
you
League,
are
Championship, Division 1 and Division 2.
surpassing expectations this season? I think we all felt at the beginning of the season it's going to be a tougher division.
Yeah, of course. I think at the start of the season we looked at the division and we thought it was going to be tougher, but full credit to the lads, and we've done really well. We've performed really well, and it's obviously put us where we are in the league, and hopefully we can just continue that now for the rest of the season.
And I've not seen anybody yet.
Of course it does. It just feels weird when you're playing away from home, and you know it's like it's a biggish ground away, and it just
as anyone.
Yeah,
doesn't look. It's
definitely.
nothing like Hillsborough. It's quite weird.
The defeats we've had, I think we've been the better team in almost every game, if not every game, and yeah, it's just a case of keep building, keep performing, and sure.
Cheers, Ian, mate. Thanks,
Keep
fella.
this run going. Borough on Saturday. That's something that's always a bit different, a bit special.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to pay each club, haven't they?
The stadium will be packed for that one, and yeah, it's another big game, and another game where we'll be looking to take 3 points from.
And really, going into the international break, it's ideal time. You want to go into that break, with that momentum, if you like.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a key thing when it's an international break. You want to go in there with good momentum, having won the last game, and the times to relax, sort of thing. And
it's expensive though when you think of it for the game, isn't it? Nearly 60 quid. I mean, that's a lot of money.
No time to relax until then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Great.
Total Sport Northeast.
Live from the Stadium of Light.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
You can get a mod to get Roker Park, and there's somebody on YouTube who's got loads of matches where he's actually playing at Roker Park.
That you can't, but no, I think he's done.
And it looks
fantastically well.
It looks really, really good. Yeah.
From strength to strength.
I came into the stadium today.
But the mod, the only thing that spoils the mod is the crowd are all like jumping up and down, like up, down, down,
initiative
up,
by
down,
the
up, down, up,
league,
down,
the
up, down, up, down, up,
is it
down,
in
up,
the
down,
Premier League? It's
and they're constantly doing that.
That's right.
But they're all
yeah.
doing it
So
together.
it's just a case of
There's
within the
30,000 people in
next
Roker
2 or 3
Park, and they're all
weeks,
going up, down,
he's just
up,
giving
down,
them
up, down,
a
up, down. It just spoils it. It just makes it look unnatural. I don't know why they've added it. I mean, they jump up and down when they score, but it just looks
especially if you
pretty
don't want
crappy.
to put your name to it, then there is a line there is a number which you can call.
You're also going to be working with the academy, the under-12s, their project this year. We've talked about this before, and we'll chat about it in a couple of weeks' time with Rob Mason as well.
Used to make me laugh with Roker Park is when
the First World War
it was like
project, and they've linked it
you're
in
playing
with
the
Windrush.
kick-off 3 o'clock in the afternoon on this
which
time
of
of
course
the
is
year,
close to your heart,
and it was
because
starting to get
parents
quite
came from
darkish
Jamaica
at 3
over to
o'clock,
Manchester.
especially if there was a lot of cloud
and,
cover.
yeah, it's interesting to see,
you could actually hear when all the floodlights got turned on. You just heard this massive like. And if anybody's been to Roker Park, they'd know exactly what I'm talking about. There used to be a load of birds, and that used to sit on top of the floodlights, and then they used to all crap themselves when that noise all came on, and they used to just fly off. It's just silly things like that what you remember. It's so much better the stream though, isn't it? Since Anthem Mackham's not here, like it's just so much better, isn't it?
Who came over in the Windrush.
You see, if they hadn't come over, you might have been a great cricketer.
Aussie? Oh, shit, didn't tell him.
One of West Indies'
I might have been the new Garfield Solbers.
Exactly, you might have been Garfield. You don't fancy yourself as a bowler then?
Well, who knows? I could have been a cricketer. I might have been the new you saying,
welcome, Anthony. Welcome. How are you doing?
Only time will
many
tell.
Attributes.
Yes,
indeed.
My apologies for not joining the stream last night. I was absolutely shattered, but I enjoyed watching it. It was good, but I was so
game
tired.
Would be our 1000th game. Our 1000th Sunderland game at Stoke City. 999 today. I'm hoping.
I'm usually alright on a Friday,
a
but
good one. We're going to hear from Tony Mowbray.
I think it's because the last 2 days I've just been sitting in traffic.
Watching everybody arrive, and it's
constantly.
Sort of slowly building.
It's just made us tired, stomach heading.
A lot of people obviously still on the concourses, I think.
Well, again, the question which was asked many a times on Total Sport last night: Derby or not?
It riles the Borough lads up. First thing they said to me was, "Oh, we've had all this nonsense about, is it a derby or not?" I think
what do you think it is? Maybe to them.
It is a derby because it's just down the road. It's their neighbours. But I think, as Tony Mowbray said,
why can't they just leave it alone?
Yesterday he was talking about it. We look to Newcastle, don't we? That's the derby. Newcastle Sunderland is the derby.
Yeah.
And I think Middlesbrough, as Tony said, probably look more to Leeds.
Yes.
Being a Yorkshire, being the old county boundaries, being a Yorkshire town, they will look more to Leeds as a derby than looking up the road.
I would say that because
I'm supposed to drink one of these a day.
And what I mean by that is
dehydration.
When you play Newcastle, when you talk about the derby, that is what a build-up.
To be honest with you,
especially for that
I think because I was tired yesterday,
it slowly and surely burns away, and you've got that feeling, you've got that nervous feeling as supporters, and as it gets closer to the game, you're on edge. You're on edge, and that's not just the supporters, that's the players themselves. Now, is that the same feeling when it's Sunderland Middlesbrough? I don't think so.
I think all the fans, Sunderland fans at the front of the stadium, ahead of the game today, were more interested.
I've got Lee Cattermold as one of the pundits on the Sky.
That is arriving.
You know yourselves, when we've done derby games and you talk to supporters and they tell you, I've not been able to sleep.
and the one game that everybody always talks about missing is the fact that we've not had a derby for so many years now, and the prospect of not having one, well, maybe not so dim as it maybe was, or we thought a year or two ago. It looks, the way that Sunderland have started the season again this season, on the back of how they ended last season, there is that glimmer, that thought that it might not be.
You'll have to get Sky and.
Well, we hope not. Fingers crossed, and I think everybody wants that. That's one thing which the region misses is the derby
because
games.
you'll be using the stream version and I'm using it on Sky.
Yeah, and who knows? They may not be so far away. The referee today, incidentally, is Jared Gillett, the Australian FIFA
with 10 minutes
referee. He was in charge at Burnley.
With 10 minutes in, it's 0-0.
0-0
Oh, God's sake, that was close off the bar. Unlucky, son.
And so we'll see what develops this afternoon. There was a sending off in this fixture last season. Of course, Sunderland won it 2-0. Goals from Ross Stewart and Amad Diallo. They're no longer here, but there's been a great debate about, is this team a better team this season? And I think there's a strong
Liverpool never
suggestion that it probably is a better team.
It's better equipped. We're better suited. You look at the two teams. I think compared
Liverpool
to last season, I think
they never play on a Saturday
they've
really,
lost 3 or 4, shall we say, important players. Akpong, who scored a lot of goals for Middlesbrough. That's going to be a big miss for him. The lads Archer, Ramsey, who was on loan from Villa. They're a huge miss. Good players. Sunderland have added. The youth
early game in the Premier League today. We've got Luton against Tottenham. You've got to fancy Tottenham for that,
especially these young players who've come into the team.
Indeed, and they're just warming up at the moment down below us on this near side.
Bournemouth are away to
in front
Everton.
Of, the Sunderland fans. As we head towards
strange club, Everton. A good 3-0 win at Brentford and then lose to Luton Town.
Yesterday afternoon, I spoke with the Sunderland head coach, Tony Mowbray.
Tony, you mentioned last week about the quick turnaround, Wednesday to Saturday. And you often will come in and say, oh, the players look sluggish in training this morning, or they were bright and breezy. How has it been these last couple of days with this short sort of period between the games?
That's just like...
Players haven't done anything really, to be honest. They come
wrong.
in and they have a massage, they loosen their legs off in the gym, they go on the bike, they have a swim in the pool, they sit in the jacuzzi, they go in the sauna, they get a rub, That was all yesterday, so if we finished,
I had some people.
Time we finished up at 9 on Wednesday night. That was Thursday morning. They came in, give them an extra hour in bed, of course. But today was almost a walkthrough, really. 30 minutes from start to finish. So no.
I got somebody saying to me when they walked past my garden, said, "Do you want your shed, retard?" I went, "No, thanks," and they walked away, pinched my shed.
Rotate their team and what they do, and then they have to go out and play tomorrow morning and bring the same.
For fuck's sake! Sorry.
That they do every game. They're young. It's all right, me saying, "Oh, we got a young team, inexperienced." Isn't it great to be young and playing football in front of 45,000? And if you can't run around and compete and tackle, then there's something wrong with you. So I'm pretty sure we'll be ready for the game, but we know it's going to be a tough game, a derby game, a competitive game, so we have to be ready for it.
Both teams have local lads in their teams. I mean, do you think that's important in games like this? I think they realise I know in talking to Dan Neil in the past, he talks about how he used to be on the terraces watching the games and knows how much it means to someone like him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it makes a difference. I was one of them once upon a time. It's
good morning.
You get brought up around it, really, and generally the derby games. There's been epic derby games that people talk about through history, and you want to be a part of it, and you want to show your best. And so I'm sure that the local lads on both sides will make it very, very competitive. It'll be competitive in the stadium as well. Middlesbrough will no doubt fill their allocation, and I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere. We just have to try and find a way to win the game. We managed to do that last season. We'll be confident and hopeful we can do it this season.
At the start of the season, you were talking about the defence, and that was a priority for you in one sense, because you conceded a couple of goals against Ipswich, a couple of goals against Preston. Now it looks like it's been sorted. I mean, you must be especially pleased with the turnaround and the speed with which it happened.
Yeah, I think if we're talking of
2-0 Middlesbrough, I think. What's going to happen today is the team's going to think, at the bottom of the league, they're pretty poor. I think realistically, Middlesbrough is going to finish possibly in the top two. I think they're going to rock up this league, and I think they're going to underestimate how good this Middlesbrough side is, and they'll get a shock.
He brings assurance to the team. I think alongside him, you've got a warrior.
That's good. That's what's important.
Who, can compete with the physicality of the big lads in the opposition team, and does very, very well and distributes the ball well. He's very calm. He's got really good qualities as a footballer. I think Trey, as I said earlier on, really has shown everybody, me included, of what a high quality football player he is, international footballer now, and he's got a big future in front of him as well, and he continues to improve on a weekly basis. The other side, of course, Niall is doing an amazing job for us at the moment, and probably unfair to put him out on the left at times. Obviously, we changed that in midweek, and we've got the option to do both, of course, but Niall's doing a fantastic job for us. Sirkin, Alisi are both out left-sided, left-footed footballers, defenders, and Niall's showing the advantages of the depth of defensive cover that we've got, and I don't feel as if it's been weakened at all. He's been really assured.
And on that note, the progression of the team in the 10 games you've played so far is such that you can see it's going to be difficult to get.
I'd like to see Bird's tour do something, because he's been sort of. I just want to see him do something like get a goal or just stand out, because he's getting criticised a lot from the fans and that. It's like he's doing now. But I'd like to see Birdstow and Clark,
Corey Evans
and Roberts knit together. To be quite honest with you,
midfield players. It's good to have people. Embleton, we never mentioned as a forward player. They're all players that can and hopefully will contribute at some stage to the team as they get themselves back fit as the season unfolds. that's what every good team's got, is competition all over the pitch, and of course it's a difficult job to coach them because you can only pick 11, and they all want to play generally, and the good thing for me is that they've all shown that they've got the qualities required when they've been put on the pitch, and you know, Abdullah Bar being a case of that over recent weeks. You'd have to say Adil, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, Ashish, thank you very much, has shown real high quality as well in possession of the football and a desire to win it back when we haven't got it, and so it looks to me like
Clark seems to do a lot of things on his own, doesn't he? And it's the same really with Roberts. It's like Roberts is like a mirror image of Clark, what he does, but he does it on the left, but it's just not quite as good as Clark. Leaving the centre forward usually pretty much isolated.
The new lads, apart from Ashish, what do you think of him? What have you made of him so far? Because he seems to be, the minutes he's had, he's been impressive. He seems to be strong, physical, athletic. He seems to have slipped in seamlessly.
You're talking to Rusin?
Of Ashish.
Ashish, yeah. Listen, he wants to play, to be honest, but his personality is not banging on my door and getting upset. But I've told him he's come in.
I'm playing Fallout 4 now, waiting.
He's cameos, really, hasn't he? 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but done very well in those. Doesn't look out of place, doesn't weaken the team when he comes on. If anything,
yes, you could. You used to stand in the rocker end near your floodlights, right aside facing the pitch. Yeah, I used to always stand near the floodlights on the left-hand side near the scoreboard.
He has to be patient, unfortunately. You know, that's what I'm saying. This job, everybody will have their favourites. Everybody will think, why isn't Mowbray playing him? Why isn't he doing that? What's he doing? Well, I see him every day in training. I see the ones that I feel we should keep going with, and give them the opportunity to see whether we can be a successful team. I don't think the really successful teams every week rotate 3 in, 3 out, 3 in, 3 out. I think.
Hello, you guys.
You have to have a consistency of performance, and I think that's the backline, the two centre halves. No, they'll be the test for us, whether Jensen South or Nectar Triantis are ready when Ballard or O'Nien get injured. Are they ready? We're trying hard to work them every day in training pitch and giving them enough 21 exposure, because they have to be, because you know it's unlikely that them two centre halves are going to
due to the radioactive fallout from Middlesbrough,
and at this moment we're doing okay. Nobody's getting carried away. We know every game is really tough, and it is fine margins between winning and losing. We don't carry a Ross Stewart that once upon a time in this club was the talisman who was going to score the goals to make us win. We have to spread the goals around. But that's all right. That's exciting for the team, and I feel they know that when they get selected, they have a freedom to go and play and express themselves and try and get in the box or create the chances to get in the box, and everyone's enjoying it at the moment. I'm not naive enough to know that might not continue for 46 games. At some stage, we're going to have a spell where instead of winning 3 or 4 on the bounce, we lose 3 or 4 on the bounce, and people start asking questions. But that's football, and I understand that. But at this moment, we have to keep working hard and keep going.
Total Sport North East.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Tony Mowbray, there's been a change for the Middlesbrough.
Well, all the flags are out at the Stadium of Light, so they must be not banned anymore, are they?
Tommy Smith has been injured in the warm-up, so he's been replaced.
All the flags, they're not banned anymore, apparently. The stadium looks fantastic. There's flags waving everywhere.
The flags at the Roker end, the Spirit of 37 have done them proud. Great display of red and white flags.
I thought they were banned.
Waved in the Roker end. I can see the Middlesbrough fans, they're right round, coming into the corner at the north, top of the north stand, creeping round into the northwest corner. The police presence this afternoon was absolutely unbelievable when we arrived at the ground. Good to see Grant Ledbetter up here with the analysts for Middlesbrough.
Walkie-talkie.
Yeah, walkie-talkie man. And all set for the two teams to emerge in the next couple of minutes as the flag bearers on the pitch as well. just down below us. Glorious sunshine, and as we said earlier, unseasonably warm this afternoon as well. I mean, the temperature I saw when I looked at the forecast is meant to be around 19, 20 degrees this afternoon, and it's what, October the 7th. I'm not complaining.
We're talking about down south. It's going to be something like 29.
Incredible. So Sunderland then, Patterson in goal, Hume, O'Nien, Ballard, Huggins, Neal, Jobe, Barr, Roberts, Clark and Burstow. Middlesbrough, Dieng, now Tommy Smith, Dale Fry, Paddy McNair, Lucas Engel, Dan Barassa, Hayden Hackney, Isaiah Jones, Sam Greenwood, Matt Crooks and Josh Coburn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For Middlesbrough. It can't help Michael Carrick this week to not only have had the injuries, apparently they've had COVID in the squad as well, and now a player injured in the warm-up. That can't be helpful.
Oh, it can't be helped, but that's football, Nick. These things happen. You just seen that in the warm-up they've picked up an injury.
Two teams then heading out. Sunderland's players all have a mascot beside them.
Knights of the Round Table or something, isn't it?
Their red tracksuit tops. They'll be in their red and white stripes, black shorts and red socks, and Middlesbrough will be in their third kit, which is predominantly dark blue with a yellow stripe across the chest with yellow trim as they line up.
That does look good.
Here, and a good atmosphere.
I'll tell you what, we've got some flags, haven't we?
They are. It's getting. There are more at the front of the stand as well. And the miners' banners.
That was all right. I changed that literally 7 months ago. I don't use it.
Being displayed in the north stand as well as the Middlesbrough team, you can probably guess, is being announced. So now the Sunderland team.
So Luke O'Nien's played every minute in the Championship this season. Is Luke O'Nien a really important player to this squad, do you think?
So I'm going to mention the problems.
That'll be the channel I do producing and produce music and that.
They've done a monumental effort to get this.
I will be changing my name on that at the edit.
I think the club's going to make an announcement actually following the game about the problems that they've had.
I will be changing the name on that one.
It has been a significant issue for the football club.
What a noise. What a noise.
It's built up nicely.
Yeah, and straight away we're looking at where Huggins is. I think he's on the left-hand side.
Back to where he was before, so he switched it back. Hume on the right, Huggins on the left. O'Nien on the right of the centre-back partnership. Roberts up here on the halfway line. It's going to be Middlesbrough, is it? No, it's going to be Sunderland who get the game underway. Burstow there in the centre, talking to referee Jared Gillett. The Australians in a sea green jersey this afternoon. The Middlesbrough keeper, Senny Dieng, who of course scored here last year for Queen's Park Rangers.
Equaliser.
The equaliser late on. He's away to our right in lime green. As Burstow and Joe take the knee. The referee takes the knee. They're the only ones. And Mason Burstow, with the wind billowing his shirt, gets the game underway. A short pass back to Neal, to Jobe, and across on the right to Hume. And then O'Nien swings it down the wing, looking for Burstow. It bounces once on the touchline.
I'm thinking about changing my channel name, or do you think I should keep it the same?
Throw to Middlesbrough on this left-hand side. Tony Mowbray in his gilet, Michael Carrick in his grey sweater on this warm, very warm October afternoon. And the throw on the left-hand side. Lucas Engel take it, goes back to Dale Fry, Middlesbrough born, swings it down the line to Isaiah Jones, who's playing on that right wing, and up it's gone to Ballard to head away, picked up on the far side by Crooks, who's in for the injured Riley McGree, and now it's come all the way back into Paddy McNair, who of course had a couple of seasons here in that that pretty awful period, wasn't it? But he actually came good and then was sold to Middlesbrough. Into the centre, Hayden Hackney, another local lad from Redcar in the Middlesbrough lineup. Dale Fry back to Seni Dieng, signed from Queen's Park Rangers in the summer, passes it out, and it's played out in the end to Engel on the left, back to Dieng, almost on his goal line in his pink boots. He brings it back into the 6-yard box, pushes it out, and lurking there is Barr. They're putting pressure on Middlesbrough at the back here. They can't force it out at the moment. They finally play it out to Dan Barlaser, and it's cut out by Dan Neal, but it's span off him, and Tommy Smith is going to bring it forwards and out on the wing. Isaiah Jones slipped it inside, and Huggins comes away with it. Tried to slip it through for Barr to run onto, but it's pushed out by Dieng. Now, the one change, of course, from the game the other night,
the runner,
is we've got Roberts wide on the right and Barr is in the middle this afternoon. Barr's playing as the number 10 and not Roberts. Here is a foul by Engel. The left back getting forwards deep in the Sunderland half. Yeah, Roberts is playing wide right. Barr is playing as the number 10 this afternoon, so a slight change in that sense, and the fullbacks reverting.
I think it'll be a good point. I think because I do think Middlesbrough. I think you're looking at a top 2 side here. And I think it'll be. I think it'll be a good point today. Mark my word, it will.
Hume will take, drops it to Roberts. Roberts back to Hume, back again to O'Nien, and back to Anthony Patterson in his bright yellow away to our left. A couple of minutes into the game, in the 3rd minute, no goals. 4th versus 17th at start of the weekend is Ballard. A couple of games, of course, last night. And Patterson at the back, passing it out now to Luke O'Nien. And O'Nien has got to be alert to the fact that
Middlesbrough starting the better of the two at the minute. I know it's not long gone, but they're knocking it about quite nicely
in
the minute.
Middlesbrough half. And tapped
at 3 minutes 50.
To Barlaser, signed from Rotherham in the summer.
Yeah, 3 minutes 50.
Newcastle United midfielder from Gateshead. Back it comes to Tommy Smith, inside to Barlaser, back to Fry, and then out here on the left-hand side to McNair. Engel's ahead of him down the touchline. Here is Lucas Engel, the Dane. He plays it inside, then to Hayden Hackney, back to Fry in the centre circle, and to Smith, 31 years old now, the former Stoke defender. Back again to Dale Fry, then to Paddy McNair.
Colin B. Come on, boys, says Colin.
28-year-old, pushing it on now, trying to get it through to Sam Greenwood, the youngster who is signed as an academy player from Sunderland by Arsenal, and they.
Hey, I just found out the other day YouTube have got a library of music, and you can use for backing tracks of your YouTube shorts, copyright free.
Sunderland half for Middlesbrough, 0-0 into the 5th minute, and it's Barlaser who's going to take the free kick. Spent 3 years at Rotherham, plus a spell on loan. He's on the left of central midfield. He's got Engel out wide, but he's going to swing this in, one would have thought, as he does so into the box. It's headed in the air by Job, headed away, and out for a throw by Luke O'Nien at the edge of the 6-yard box.
It was a bad header.
Straight up, wasn't it?
Yeah,
didn't get it clear. Throw then to Middlesbrough. Wide on the right, 10 yards from the corner. Back it goes almost halfway into the centre circle to McNair, and he plays it square to his right to Fry. Smith closed down by Clark. Clark actually has not touched the ball as yet.
No.
Here's Engel on the left wing, right in front of Tony Mowbray. Roberts in front of him, plays it back to the goalkeeper. Senny Dieng has come out into the middle of his half, taps it to Fry, and happy just to sit on the ball at the moment, then plays it square to McNair. McNair bringing it up to the halfway line, down the line to Engel, and he slips it through, looking to find Greenwood. It's won back by Job eventually, and Job, he's tackled by Greenwood.
No, they're not terrible.
Barlassa has it, and he's now looking for some support behind him through
Ignore the league table where Middlesbrough are, honest to God.
McNair into the centre circle to Fry. Just to his right is Smith, looking for Coburn, who plays it behind Crooks, and Huggins, he nearly got caught. But the ball's come back to Patterson outside the penalty area on the left to kick back up to halfway, looking for Barr. Comes down for Clark, slips it inside to Dan Neil. He swings it over to Roberts on the right wing. Can't quite creep it in. I think he might be done for handball, actually. Put his hands in the air and touched it as it was going out over his head. The free kick quickly taken. Back to McNair. And
how old is Russian?
Possession in this first 7 minutes, but actually not doing a huge amount with it.
He looks young, doesn't he?
Be happy enough for them to have the ball. Burster goes to close McNair down. It's a high ball played up for the run of Josh Coburn, 20 years old now, the former member of the Sunderland Academy. He left when he was about 15. And it's a throw for Middlesbrough on the left. Engel back to Hackney, inside to Barlassa, and he's trying to get it back now to Hackney on the touchline. A touch off of Burstow, and it's a throw again to Middlesbrough on this left-hand side. Quickly taken by Engel. Looked like a foul throw to me, but
it did.
He's got away with it. Back to McNair, then Fry. He taps it back to Dieng, the goalkeeper, who passes it out to McNair, and the ball given away to Barr. Barr now, he's trying to work an opening for Job. Man on, calls the crowd. Matt Crooks fouls Job. And it's a free kick right to central midfield, quickly taken by Job to Neil. Neil to Hume on the right here with Roberts. Roberts back to Hume. Hume back again to O'Nien. He plays it into the path of Ballard. Closed down by Crooks. Crooks pulls him down. And that's 2 fouls in quick succession from Matt Crooks. The referee's going to have a word with him.
Mr. Barnsley, hello mate, how are you doing?
And you just feel when it goes to Dieng, it takes a little bit longer than what I like. He seems as though he'll give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Who have you got today, Barnsley?
Playing one up for Burstow to chase down the right side here. Burstow, he's got a player on his shoulder, plays it back behind into Roberts. Into Burstow again, back to Roberts. Now Hume looking for Neil. Neil just to Huggins to his left, and he's got Clark wide. He's gone back inside to Neil. Neil back to Huggins, out to Clark on the touchline. And Clark coming back into the centre and through to Neil. Nice pass. Looking for Barr down the left of the penalty area. Onto his right foot in the area. Takes a shot just over the top of the bar. Great effort from Barr over the bar. Opportunity.
Good effort there by Barr. Good build-up play by Sunderland. Good movement.
Still 0-0 though. I think that had been a little bit lower. Dieng would have struggled to get his fingertips to it. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. And a break for Middlesbrough. The ball pushed to Crooks. He's looking. Oh, Hume let it run through. Engel on the left of the penalty area now, and he swings a poor cross in. That's could have been a lot worse for Sunderland.
Yeah, just got to be wary of that on the break.
That was an opportunity Middlesbrough will look at and feel they should have done better. Sunderland should have defended better. The outcome was a goal kick. Here's O'Nien. And O'Nien now bringing this out of the penalty area, out on the right to Roberts, who plays it back to Anthony Patterson. Ballard. And wide
You
again
got
to
Exeter.
Huggins.
Good luck.
Jones
Good luck
goes
today
closing
playing
down,
Exeter,
plays
mate.
back to Dan Ballard at the
Are you at
corner of
home?
the Sunderland penalty area. Coburn teasingly goes to come across, but it's played out to Huggins. Down the line to Barr. Okay. And out for a throw to Middlesbrough, halfway inside the Middlesbrough half. Be taken by Tommy Smith.
Yeah, fine, mate, fine.
Drops it to Hackney.
All
back
fine
to
and
Smith
dandy.
on the touchline, up towards Coburn. It's a touch from O'Nien, down to Hume. Hume back to Dan Ballard. In the last 5 games, Middlesbrough, they've seen their turnaround, with the start coming at Sheffield Wednesday with a 1-1 draw. They beat Southampton 2-1. High ball played up and behind for a goal kick to Middlesbrough. They then had a 2-0 win at Bradford in the League Cup. They won 3-2 at Watford, and last week, in the week, they won 2-0 at home to Cardiff. So that upturn in fortunes has seen them sneak away from the
600 miles, yeah, it's a long trip, that, isn't it?
Yang.
It is a long trip.
Rush, is he? No, he's not. He kicks through the centre, and a foot from Neil brings the ball down though for Coburn, who lays it off to Engel in front of Tony Mowbray. He plays it inside to Hackney. Hackney trying to find a gap through the middle for Greenwood. Neil's on his shoulder. Greenwood taps it back into the Middlesbrough half. Barlassa in the centre circle. So played it on, looking for Greenwood again, who's flicked it on, not with the greatest deal of power for Engel, and Hume's easily able to intercept it, and Engel stabs it behind for a goal kick. Lucas Engel, 24-year-old, signed from Silkeborg in the summer. The Dane. Patterson, the ball at his feet, going to pass it, is he, or does he kick it out? He passes it to Ballard over on the left. Ballard further out to Huggins, who cuts inside from Jones, then drives the ball right up the other end to Dieng. And Roberts was there in space, his arms outstretched, hoping he was going to look to find him.
I think what the Middlesbrough have done well.
Bartley will start singing. We are Plymouth, we are.
Yeah, he's only been in once.
Yeah. Here in Middlesbrough again. Hackney out to Engel. Engel back inside to Barlassa. And he's pushed in the back by Barr. Free kick on halfway for Middlesbrough.
We've got to try to get Clark in the game, haven't we?
We've got to. He's not been involved really at all, has he?
No.
Smith out wide to Isaiah Jones. Forwards to Crooks. Out wide. Ballard stabs it out. Throw to Middlesbrough again. The 14th minute, Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0. A reminder this afternoon at 3, we've got Gateshead against Altrincham with Colin White and Charlotte Potts. Tomorrow at 2, we've got West Ham against Newcastle with Razor and Ando. Here's Engel back to McNair. Suddenly the sun has gone. It looks as though it may rain, but it's still very warm. McNair squares it to Fry, to Smith, and through the middle Hackney. Hackney now looking for Coburn, and he plays it out behind Engel.
I am being serious here. Would you be happy with the point today? You know, I'll not bring this up anymore tonight.
Into the centre to Hackney, and the ball lobbed up into the penalty area will come through to Patterson. Stretches out his left hand, his big left hand, catches the ball, and Patterson will roll it out to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien to Hume. Oh, it's cut out his forward ball by Engel into the middle, left for Jones. Now for Hackney, finding the runner Smith. Smith at the end of the area, dinking one up towards Coburn.
Well done.
Who gets up
big team, Barnsley, mate. They are a big side.
Great defending. Well, you got to.
Sorry, Hume's on his shoulder.
Yeah, we've got to do better with our passing, Nick. A couple of times we've been sloppy.
They worked a lot of space through the middle there, Middlesbrough. I think Sunderland have got a couple of issues to address, haven't they, here, this opening 15 minutes.
They've got to up the tempo as well.
Ballard brings it out to Huggins on the left. Jones forces him to play it back to Ballard. Ballard back to Patterson.
They've got to find a way to get Clark in the game.
O'Nien out to Hume, now to Roberts, back to O'Nien. O'Nien into the middle to Neil.
Got to try to get Clark in.
Now out to Huggins, Clark ahead of him. Huggins though, again Jones has blocked that route down the touchline.
I think what they've seen with Huggins is that because he's a right footer, majority of times he wants to check back onto his right foot.
And bring it inside.
Yeah.
Roberts wide on the right, on halfway. He's put a ball up through the middle to Barr. It's come off a little bit too heavily, and then he clips Engel. And a free kick to Middlesbrough on the left of their midfield, just outside the Middlesbrough penalty area. Hobbling as he gets up from that. Lucas Engel.
Dundee United. Dundee United.
Over on the fast. Clark pushing the pressure on Fry, who plays it across to McNair. McNair plays it back to Dieng.
Dundee United, when they're playing each other, the team bus is literally a caterpillar of the away team walking towards the ground.
To Smith, and he puts it in the air up towards halfway. Hume heads it down. Neil has to tidy it up to Job, and it's come back, and Coburn's just caught by Neil.
He did.
And it's going to be a yellow card for Dan Neil.
Yeah.
Jarrah Gillett in the 17th minute booking
silly
Dan
challenge
Neil,
that, like
first yellow card of the afternoon.
That's what I say.
My mate Jason Webster
ended up with a yellow card.
I think Huggins is changing his boots as well on the far side. Not happy with his footwear. Barlasser will take the free kick. I think they are waiting for Huggins just to do his laces up. And Tommy Smith is objecting to that, to the referee, as are now one or two other Middlesbrough players. And Michael Carrick is not happy. He's having a word with the assistant.
My mate Jason Webster from Sunderland says, slow start from Sunderland. We're giving Berra too much possession.
To McNair. And back to Fry at the back of the centre circle. To his right is Tommy Smith. And then off Crooks for a throw. He's right on the touchline. He tried to turn and take it forwards, and he's just taken it out. Quick throw. Neil inside to Joe, back to O'Nien. He gets that quickly here to Hume. Hume up to the halfway line on the right, wide to Roberts. Roberts now.
What do you think of the start, lads? What do you think of the start? Do you think it's a slow start? Do you think Sunderland just sort of being careful at the minute?
Roberts went down, but it was a clean tackle, and it's through to Crooks. Job now is beaten to it by Greenwood in the centre circle. He's looking for the gap for Jones to chase, but it'll run through with Ballard pushing it back to Patterson, passing it out to Huggins, on to Neil, skips round Fry, looking for Clark here now, but it runs into the path of McNair, who puts it out for a throw to Sunderland.
It's that final pass, isn't it? You know, we keep talking about
someone saying when we're playing at home, it always seems as if the way we're playing away from home.
Any service, and
it's like the away team seems to
19th minute in,
have the advantage when they're playing at the stadium. Like
frustrated.
Yeah. Ball out here to Roberts on the right-hand side, played back now to Hume and Ballard, and across to Huggins. Barr wide, almost on the touchline. Tries to put one over the top for Huggins and Clark, but it's too hard, and it's gone straight.
What do you think Sunderland's game plan is today then? Do you think they're going to cautiously go for the draw? Is that why they're being sort of very timid at the minute?
You can hear the frustration in your voice.
Yeah.
20 minutes in and it's 0-0. And Borough are frustrating Sunderland. Wide again on the right, Smith back into Hackney, looking for Coburn, but just swept through up to O'Nien, who taps it back to Patterson.
Oh, what a save! What a save!
Ballard out wide again.
No.
Clark
Middlesbrough. Roberts should have buried the back of the net there. He should have bulged that.
Just pushed it a bit too far forwards, and Barlasser is able to clear it up to the halfway line. Coburn's onto this. Hume on his shoulder, and Joe makes a tackle. Good clean tackle. And out now wide to Roberts. Roberts taking this on, taking it in. Still going Roberts. Roberts into the penalty area. Roberts on his left. Oh! Outstretched foot from Dieng. That was heading in, and Dieng somehow got his foot to it and turns it round for a corner.
What a fantastic run that was by
Amazing dribble
Patrick
through.
We've got to say that's an excellent save by Dieng with his feet.
Short corner. Roberts to Clark. Clark in the penalty area, pulling it back to Neil. Neil back to Clark on the right corner of the penalty area. Onto his right foot. He's trying to get in from Hackney. Gets the ball in straight to the goalkeeper.
I'll put it on mute if we're coming on the attack.
So 0-0. And Seny Dieng, who pulled off that tremendous save. Barlaser wide to Crooks, and is pushed out for a throw to Sunderland.
Do you think Roberts should have scored there?
Crooks' mistake. Huggins throw to Dan Neil. Neil back to Huggins. Clark just ahead of him. Huggins inside now to Joe, but a foot takes it away from him.
It's too much on the floor for me there, Patrick Roberts. I think you should have moved lifted it off the ground a little bit, smashed it in.
It's played out on the left to Engel, trying to get it clear. It's won back by Hume to Burstow to Jobe. Jobe in the middle, and Jobe turns and plays it here to Hume. Hume now on the right of central midfield. Looks to just thread it through, nobody there. It bisected Barr and Burstow. And now Hackney puts it out, cut out by Hume, headed down by Barr to Jobe, and Jobe gets a big push in the back from Hackney. And it's a free kick in the middle, quickly taken by Sunderland. Pushed out to Huggins and then to Clark on the left wing.
It's been a slow start, Josh. It's been a slow start. We're building up slowly.
Neil to Hume.
Just had a really good chance there with Clark. He was through, very similar to the way Huggins ran in. He was clean through, just had the keeper to beat. To be fair, the keeper went down, spread his leg out and made the good save.
Over the head of Jobe and bounces away.
Yeah, you're in the US. Welcome, mate.
Clark keeps it in. It's put back in the penalty area. Headed clear by Fry, comes out to Huggins on the left, and he tries to turn by Jones, who puts it out for a throw to Sunderland.
I love the Watford team. I finally got the match on. Brilliant, bravo, brilliant.
Just past the halfway mark, 0-0 of the first half. Coburn wide on the right on halfway, tackled by Huggins. Ballard taking it forward, looking for Barr, gets it to Clark. Clark now. He's making a run into the penalty area, and Fry hooks it away behind for a corner.
And you can actually feel or see the fear in the eyes of Middlesbrough defenders when the likes of Clark's picking.
We need to start doing more of this when we run at them, especially from the centre. The crap themselves, Middlesbrough. The panic. We need to do more of it.
Neil back to Clark, head down onto the goal line almost, and looking well over the heads of both Burstow and Jobe, and it'll roll out here. Will it for a throw? Well, I thought it went out. O'Nien has gone out over the advertising board, but he kept it in. Skips back over the board, runs back on the pitch, and the ball is across with Huggins on the far side.
I'm sure he took a couple of photos as well, didn't he?
He could well have done. Yeah, and you wouldn't have put it past him to have done so. Here's Roberts on the right, in front of Michael Carrick. Roberts trying to find an opening here. Closed down by Greenwood. Plays it back behind him to Trey Hume, who plays it into the middle to Dan Ballard. Ballard plays it to Huggins again on that left-hand side. Into the Middlesbrough half.
Wow, well done.
To try and get it to Barr, but it cut out. And
Rock and hell, I said there,
he's through the centre circle for Middlesbrough. Greenwood to his left. Coburn ahead of him. He's gone for Greenwood. A slip by Hume, picks himself back up, and it's bundled down by Patterson, and somehow it's put out round the post as Coburn was trying to get his foot round it and sneak it home.
Don't know, he never scored.
I'm amazed how he didn't score. The initial block made by Patterson, couldn't get his hands round it because Coburn was all over
700 people
him.
watching the stream now.
You know where we're getting our biggest problems from, Nick, is the fullbacks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Trey Hume, a couple of times he's got his feet tied up, and again on the left-hand side, Huggins, you just need a natural, sometimes you need a natural left footer on that side, don't you? Because he cuts inside all the time.
And this corner, Middlesbrough's first, is from the left at the north end of the stadium.
Thanks for the 700 on the stream,
by
thank
Barlaser, and is headed away by Burstow. They're going to let it run for another corner on the other side.
Okay.
Goal kick, in fact, it must have come off.
Yeah. I've been given this free software from Holyfield's.
From Huggins, he's got to be a little bit better when he cuts in onto his left. And again, Trey Hume, a couple of times he's had his feet tied up.
Holyfield's given us this software, so it's helping a lot.
He slipped once, he got tied up. And there's a time when he allowed a ball to sneak through, just took his eye off it.
People into the chat.
Here is Hume, out to Roberts on the right wing, driving it up, but driving it up to no one. He's going to run away for a throw to Middlesbrough on their left. In the 26th minute, Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0, live here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Gateshead Altrincham to come this afternoon, and West Ham Newcastle to come tomorrow afternoon. West Ham, Michael Carrick's former club, of course. Newcastle ball, as the ball comes to Fry, over to Smith, and a block by Clark as he tries to clear it. Clark runs onto it, but then gives the ball away to Crooks. Does the good work and then allows Crooks to do, well, some poor work himself with a poor pass, which goes straight to Patterson. Neal now looking to get it away down the left wing. Huggins taking this on. Huggins being chased by Crooks, who tackles him. Clark runs onto the loose ball. Hackney tries to get it off him and does, and leaves Clark sprawled on the floor. Hackney still taking this on. He's found Jones on the right hand side. Jones into the penalty area looking for Coburn, but cut out by O'Nien. And then Ballard puts it away for a throw on the far side.
It's causing a problem. Yeah, again, Huggins, great run, at times running with the ball, but he's got to find that balance, when to do it and when not to do it.
Greenwood trying to whip up the Middlesbrough fans. The ball out on the right wing. Jones back behind him. Smith.
Yeah, it's an even game.
It's dropped for Greenwood. Back to goal. Turns and he puts it wide. I think it took a touch. It's a corner to Middlesbrough.
Now the good Middlesbrough on the break. I think it's fairly even at the minute.
And you could actually argue there could be goals at either end here.
Somebody's gone down.
Is it Huggins?
I think it is.
Referee Jared Gillett is calling for assistance for Niall Huggins. He's going to get some treatment on the far side. Sunderland in their red and white stripes. Middlesbrough in their dark navy blue with the yellow across the chest. Huggins receiving some treatment.
Hello, Marion Travels. 3 points today. Yeah. Well, I'll send them to you through the post.
Losing Riley McGree, losing a player in the warm-up. Illness through the squad. They've been causing Sunderland enough problems to give Tony something to think about at half-time.
But I think Sunderland are causing themselves their own problems as well. We've made one or two sloppy passes. We've made one or two sloppy mistakes.
He's injury prone, like Huggins, and he really is. He's got glass legs, he's always off.
Penalty area, as you look at it from a Middlesbrough perspective, attacking from the Roker end.
Yeah, I think it's Triantis, is it?
Is he warming up? Is he likely to take his place? He's certainly stripping to get.
Jensen Button's coming on. Sorry, Jensen sealed.
Let's have a look. See who's. It could be Jensen's. No, I think it is Triantis, isn't it? Or is it Ellis Taylor, actually? I think that might be. No, who's it? It's.
He's got to. I hope it's not Mr. Signal.
It is Triantis.
It's Huggins,
or sealed. I think it's sealed. It's sealed.
So us have had 2 shots. Burroughs had 4 shots.
Jensen Selt is going to replace Huggins. So will O'Nien go to left back? So another run out for Selt, who came on at Sheffield Wednesday.
I'd be careful, Alex.
Is tall. So my natural instinct is he'll go centre back
until the content person
we'll see shortly. There's corner to defend. Huggins is walking round the pitch, so I wonder what the issue is with Niall Huggins. Hopefully it's not going to be a start of a recurrence of the problems he's had in the past with his back. He'll be devastated. Now the corner from Balassa from the left. It's headed out. It's in space in the penalty area. Clark. Dale Fry found himself in the back of the net and appealing to the assistants. There's a break here on the left-hand side for Burstow. He's got Barr in the middle. Burstow still going. Burstow into the penalty area. Tried to get past Jones, who blocks him and comes away with a ball. Isaiah Jones Burstow
He's crap
frustrated.
Burstow, like.
And the ball
He's
back
not
to
offering
Tommy
anything.
Smith. And Silk is playing right back and Hume has gone to left back. And O'Nien and Ballard still the centre backs. And here is Coburn on halfway on the left-hand side. 0-0, we played half
You're not
an
allowed
hour.
to do that if it's a Premier
Coburn
League
back
game,
into his
though.
own half, sliding the ball inside, and Neil couldn't get a foot on it. Hackney does, looking for Jones on the far side. Jones, Hume in front of him,
come down on you
Jones
like a
running,
ton of
and then
bricks.
passing it inside to Greenwood into the penalty area. Right foot shot, taken off the foot of him by Hume and Ballard for a corner.
Hope he improves, Colin, I know.
Their third corner, Middlesbrough, over on that right-hand side. Huggins headed down the tunnel. Balassa jogging down to retrieve the ball on the right edge of the penalty area to take the corner.
Concentration, that's what we need.
0-0, BBC Radio Newcastle. Middlesbrough, plenty of bodies in the box, plenty of bodies out, still in midfield. And Balassa with this, with his right foot, headed away by Jobe, bounces out here to Hackney, and Hackney curls one in low, it's blocked by Hume and cleared out to Barr, 1 against 2. Barr now, he's trying to go round Engel. Barr trying to get past Jones. Jones got a foot to it and took down Barr, and a yellow card for Jones, who's pleading that it.
That wasn't a free. That wasn't a free kick there, Rand. I've seen the replay. He didn't touch him. He was looking at it. He was lucky he didn't get a yellow card there, Barr, for the dive.
Unfortunately, got no Pritchard up with, but we've got to rob it.
No, and Roberts will be fancying his chance back. Roberts immediately has gone to get the ball. So Roberts holding the ball at the moment next to referee Jarrod Gillett, now placing it in the middle, 25 yards out. The Middlesbrough defenders line up just
don't go up
inside.
50-50 with the keeper, will you? Because it's 100% free kick to the keeper if it's 50-50 challenge.
A few inches. So they're a yard, 2 yards back inside the Middlesbrough box. O'Nien's behind Roberts. Roberts a short run up here. And here he is with his left, curls it off the wall in the air. Dieng punches it off the head of Hume. And I think the referee's given a free kick for the foul on the keeper.
He has indeed. He'll be in no rush, Dieng. Mark my words.
Here the reaction to the crowd to Dieng, just sat on the floor in his 6-yard box. Senegalese international, Seny Dieng.
Yeah, I definitely think the point would be good today. These are not a bad side.
He's back on his feet. 34th minute, Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0 in this lunchtime kick-off here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Tapped out to Fry, across to McNair. McNair now out wide to Engel. Engel, Roberts in front of him, gets it in the middle to Balassa, who stretches to get a first-time ball to Coburn. And is won back by O'Nien for Neil on the centre spot. He's taking it on now, in through midfield, and he'll play it outright to Roberts.
Well
Roberts
done.
now dribbling into the penalty area, flicks it back to Neil at the 18-yard line, curls one to the far post, somehow clawed away from Burstow at the post by Dieng, and it's with Clark dribbling in, pulling it back to Hume, shoot, he does, and just over the bar.
Great driving run there by Dan Neil. I love when he does that. Got it out to Roberts. And again, great ball in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the keeper's done well there to get his fingertips to it.
So, Dieng has another goal kick. Ball picked up by Fry. And he taps it to Dieng. Dieng back to Fry.
See you later, Dov.
Out wide then to Smith on the touchline. Clark in front of him. Smith being forced back, pushed over by Clark.
Foul. It's going nowhere.
Free kick to Middlesbrough. Bennett just warming up down below. Sunderland forced into one change, injury to Huggins, so Jensen Seelt's on. It's back with Dieng. Plays out to Fry, and he's passed it on through to Coburn on the shoulder of O'Nien. Foul by O'Nien. Just inside the Sunderland half, quickly played the free kick to Jones. Jones now skipping into the middle, playing it through to McNair on the left. McNair out wide to Engel. First time ball through to Greenwood on the left of the penalty area. Ballard tackles him. Ball rolls to Engel though, and back to Paddy McNair here in his own half. Short pass forwards to Hackney, inside to Barlaser.
Clark needs to look up before he passes.
His head down, but Joe whips the ball off his feet. Neil now looking for Clark. Clark pushes it past Smith. Smith tries to hold him back. The advantage from the referee. Clark into the penalty area, pulls it back, but straight to Barlaser, and then out to Crooks on the right-hand side, and he gets it down the right, but to O'Nien. Forwards to Neil. Neil now out to
He needs
Burstow.
to look up Clark before he's
Burstow
passing the ball. Like, I
plays
mean,
it
if
back
he
on
looked up and
halfway
seen
to
them options, he
Ballard.
could have held that ball back and
Ballard
kept Sunderland in possession in a
Silt,
dangerous place. He's
and
just
Silt to
heads
his
down.
right,
He's just assuming
into
he's
the
going to put it
middle.
into the box.
Neil back
Have
onto
a quick look
halfway
up.
to
Have a quick
Ballard.
look up, son, before you
Ballard
do that.
forwards again to Dan Neil.
If there's
Neil
no
back to Ballard.
options, cut back inside
Ballard
and
out
keep
here on
Sunderland
the
in
right
possession, hovering
to
around the 18-yard area.
Roberts back to Silt, and he plays it back again to Anthony Patterson.
No, it's a doddle,
Pushes
mate.
it out
Absolute
to
doddle. I've done it on FIFA
Luke
loads.
O'Nien, and Crooks goes to close him down. O'Nien lifting it over the top, looking for the run of Jobe. Plucked down by the right foot of Fry. He's given it back to O'Nien, who taps it to Neil, who does a nice little shimmy to shoot to lose Jones. Finds Hume. Out to Clark on the left-hand side. Oh, he's blocked by Crooks as he went to go past him.
Yeah, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to give the ball to Clark. You can see the fear in Middlesbrough's defenders' faces. Every time he picks the ball up, give him the ball.
Yeah, Clark having a word with Jared Gillett. Roberts has come across with Clark on the far side. The referee still in conversation clearly with Jack Clark, and then marches away to the
Their keeper's man of the match so far. Like, if there's anybody going to save
it.
Middlesbrough, it's going to be their keeper. I think I like the look of him. Like, he's quite solid.
I thought for a moment
He's bossing the
Clark's
box
gonna
at the
stay over
moment.
there,
He doesn't
they
look
pass it to Clark,
like
he
he's
just
panicking or flapping.
dash in, but he's come back at the edge of the D now. Clark, Roberts with the free kick, curls this in, headed away by Barlaser, straight to Clark. Clark turns and plays it out to Roberts on the left.
If we're going to cross the ball
Roberts
into the box,
now
it's going to
back
be
to
low and
Clark,
whipped. None of
left
these
side of midfield.
long lagging
Curls
high
the ball
balls in,
into
because the
box,
keeper's just
caught
going
by
to
Dieng.
be all over these like a rash.
Ballard and
so
Silt
much
were
easier
waiting
for
for
him.
it, but Dieng was there, comfortable for the keeper, and he kicks this up over halfway. Neil heads it out, throw to Middlesbrough. Nil-nil then in the 39th minute of the first half. We'll have a little bit of time of added on because of the injury to Niall Huggins. The ball comes back to Dieng. Barr goes to close him down.
I tell you what, he does he's quite calm, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. And now here's Burstow, skips one challenge.
Do you think we're still lacking strike force?
Maybe a bit too hard, but Roberts will sprint after it onto the goal line, into the corner, and holds it there. He's got to battle with Engel. Engel just keeps it in.
Because at the moment we're just relying on our wingers all the time, aren't they? It's like our strikers in the centre have just got nothing at all.
Out it comes to Jobe, who's pushed over by Coburn, and it's a free kick to Sunderland on the right. Nil-nil. Can Sunderland score before half-time again?
This is about the right time to score.
It is about the right time to score. Sunderland tend to have
Wouldn't
that
be
habit
surprised
of,
if this was 0-0. No,
scoring.
man, how many times have I said, stop the high crosses coming in?
Clark's going to take this one. 5 minutes till half-time. Clark steps back a couple of yards. It's right of midfield. It's 30 yards out. Clark curls it in, and well, Sealt leapt at it, but couldn't really get any good contact on it. Picked up by Job on the far side. Job now curls the ball into the box. Ballard.
I mean, how the hell is that a free? How the hell is that a free kick and it's a foul? It's obviously you cannot go 50-50 a challenge with a keeper, or even 30-70 challenge towards the keeper, because the keeper's going to get the reward all the time. And that's one thing I can't stand in football. It's like the keeper always gets the benefit of the doubt.
In the back of the net. You've got the free kick.
It is. It's absolute bollocks.
He's a bit fragile, isn't he?
It happens all the time.
Don't want to speak too soon, really, because of what happened last season.
True.
If that is a thing, when a cross comes in, we might as well step back.
He's thrown the ball forward
it is.
Onto the
it is.
Yard
The
line.
Ballard might as well. Yeah.
It's Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0. And Dieng passes the ball to Fry. Back to Dieng.
I mean, is he not supposed to challenge the keeper? Like, is he not supposed to make himself present when the ball comes in?
Lifting it down and out. Tony Mowbray's.
Well, they might as well bring a rule out that you're not allowed any physical contact on the keeper at all when the ball's in the box. You're just not allowed to touch him at all, or it's a foul.
Business end of the half now. Sealt's going to take this throw for Sunderland in front of Michael Carrick, or just at the edge of the technical area. He finds Roberts behind him, and he plays it back to Luke O'Nien in the middle of the Sunderland half, and O'Nien now out to Hume. Hume back to O'Nien.
Well, that's happened 3 times.
Hume again, and Hume back to Patterson. Edge of his penalty
It's happened
area.
3 times so far.
And Patterson passing it back to Hume out on that left-hand side. Sorry, O'Nien, then Neal. And O'Nien skips over the foot of Crooks as he puts it out.
No, he needs to sort of sell out like this. It's a high-profile game. This we do not need a crap referee for this game.
Patterson to Ballard. Ballard forwards to Burstow, out to Sealt, back to Ballard, back to the goalkeeper, out to O'Nien, and O'Nien down the touchline to Hume, inside to Barr, back again to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien looking for the run of Burstow, headed away by Fry to Barlassa, back to Engel, into the middle to Hackney, back to Dieng. Clark closing in on him, and Dieng just kicks as hard as he can up towards Coburn and Ballard. Both go down, and the ball comes back through Sealt to O'Nien in the middle of the half, and he's found Sealt again on the right-hand side. He swings a ball across the pitch, looking for Barr, who just keeps it in with a lovely bit of skill, and now takes it in.
Clark's
to
just getting
Clark.
shut down at the minute all the time.
Tackle him, does, and the ball is put out by Hume, who appeals for a foul
He's
on
the
Clark.
oil rig,
Clark
he is the oil rig.
looks imploringly at the referee, but gets nothing. A throw for Middlesbrough, and inside to Hackney. Hackney looking now for Barlassa, who's making a run through the middle. Nobody's closing him down. He's found Greenwood on the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Greenwood is trying to find an opening. He can get in round Sealt, who tackles him, and it's a goal kick.
Goal kick, well done, excellent.
Nearly up to 44 minutes. 0-0. I said before the game, I thought there'd be goals in the game, and I'm surprised there haven't been as yet. Been chances.
Who has?
Here's O'Nien, closed down by Crooks, back to Patterson. Out to Ballard.
This is looking like a 0-0 game. This 2 good teams, I think, cancelling each other out.
Sealt, inside to Job. Job then to Neal. This is in the Sunderland half. I know you play on Total Sport on Friday night. Your 0-0 is what you're looking for from a game at the weekend. You wouldn't have thought.
Can't argue with a half-time score.
Would you consider putting this down for a 0-0?
No.
If anything, Sunderland have just kept it. Just edged it. Their keepers kept them in it.
It's nice play.
Clark passed the ball.
No
man,
pace
for
at all.
Goodness
and
sake.
You know, they're coming at half time, and I think Tony Mowbray said, "Look, let's up the tempo." And I think if they do that, you can see that they can go and get the 3 points.
3 minutes.
But at the moment, I think Middlesbrough are happy, aren't they?
Oh, they're more than happy with the problems they've had. Clean sheet, away from home. They'll be delighted. Here's Clark. A run from Hume, Barrs in the middle, Clark still running into the penalty area, still going, blocked by Fry, breaks for Hume on the left of the penalty area, drives it back in, Fry hooks it out again, straight to Dan Neil, Neil down the left to Hume, Hume wide, back to Dan Neil on the left of midfield, back onto halfway to O'Nien, and then to Ballard just ahead, and out wide to Roberts on the right hand side, back onto Silt. He plays it into the middle to O'Nien. 2 minutes or so left of the first half. O'Nien forwards to Barr, out to
let's say two good teams.
To O'Nien. O'Nien trying to get forwards, but Jones has tried to get the ball off him. O'Nien has managed to hook it on and win a free kick. Jones fouling him on the touchline. O'Nien just that little pump, fist pump for the supporters in the East Stand. This free kick almost on the touchline, halfway inside the Middlesbrough half, in the 47th minute. Good time to score.
Right on half time.
Right on half time. Clark is going to take the free kick.
It's all about the delivery coming in.
Would you make any changes?
Clark then drives the ball into the air, hangs there, headed away by Engel. Roberts trying to keep it in. It's out for a throw to Sunderland.
I just hope he doesn't bring Rushin on with like
Roberts
4 seconds to go.
Get a ball, actually, finally. Gets one. Takes the throw back to Jobe. Jobe back again under pressure from Greenwood to Ballard, and Ballard back to Patterson, and Greenwood gives up the chase. Passed out to O'Nien. In the last minute of the first half, O'Nien.
Sunderland have got all that. Sunderland players have got all their hands on their heads, and they're all surrounding the referee. I don't know what's happening here. It went out for a goal kick, and the players are surrounding the ref.
Now Coburn trying to get through. And
I don't know what's happening.
Off Coburn for a goal kick. Yellow card.
Who for?
A red card.
Red card. Dan Neil's been sent off.
For what?
For what?
Dan Neil's just shown a second yellow card and a red, and on the stroke of half time,
well done,
has been sent off. What on earth was that for?
What was that for?
I didn't see anything.
He's obviously verbally said something, hasn't he?
Around Jared Gillett. He's having none of it. Neil has been sent off.
That's a strange one.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know if it was an off-the-ball incident or what, but he's been sent off. He's been shown a second yellow.
Shown the second yellow. Arms out.
Well, that's the win out the window then. I hate it when there's a red.
He's looking for an explanation. He doesn't know.
I hate it when there's a red card, like it just totally puts a damper on the game, doesn't it?
From the fourth official.
Oh, and the fight now on the pitch.
He can't even appeal this. Whatever's happened, he faces suspension.
The referee is literally a
TWAT. We had a sending off in the game last season. We've got a sending off in this game this afternoon, and I'm at a loss to explain what that was for.
Well, if it's verbal, Neil wants his arse kicked because, you know what I mean, it's costing Sunderland 3 points potentially here.
Oh no, Coburn. Oh, it's flared up between Ballard and Coburn. The players have all got involved here.
It was late with his elbow there.
And now Crooks is having to drag Coburn out of this. Ballard's being ushered away by Roberts.
Elbow, Nick.
This has all got a bit feisty, to say the least. Michael Carrick's had to go on and get his players off. Now what's the referee Jared Gillett going to do? Here? He's called Ballard to him. Coburn's been called to him as well. All players and yellow cards for Ballard and Coburn. So referee being roundly booed as he heads off. and suddenly the game has been turned on its head, really, with the sending off, and it's all got a bit ragged
heated
at the end there.
A bit heated,
yeah.
Totally lost.
And
totally lost.
Saying just before the whistle that before the game, I was, funnily enough, having a conversation with Mike Dodds about the yellow card he got in the week.
Totally.
And we were talking about referees, and we sort of parted saying, well, you know, we wouldn't be surprised if something happens this afternoon in a game like this, and sure enough, it's happened.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he got sent off for.
He seemed to be at a loss to explain what he wanted to why he was being sent off.
It's totally ruined the game now, though, hasn't it? It's ruined the excitement of the game, because it's now like, can't look forward to us attacking now, it's just going to be back to the bloody wall, isn't it?
It must have said something, or there must have been some sort of off-the-ball incident, but he seems at a loss.
We're not going to deal with 10 men. We were struggling against 11 men. We're certainly not going to do a thing with a man down.
Some work to do
no chance
now.
against
10 men, Sunderland for the second half. Couldn't get the breakthrough in the first half. All got a bit fiery and feisty at the end of the first half, and they go in level at half-time, 0-0. We'll have the full second half, of course, on BBC Radio Newcastle and SAFC.com. At the interval, Sunderland with 10 men, 0, Middlesbrough 0.
Service!
On BBC iPlayer.
Have you seen my sugar?
Yeah, it's over here, girl.
Oh, you're definitely not sweet enough. No chance.
A brand new drama starring Vanette Robinson and Stephen Graham.
This is impossible. I need help, please.
Don't worry, I've got it.
No.
It's like working with a bunch of school kids. No, I'm not going to calm down. I've had enough.
What happened last time you lost your temper in the kitchen?
He's all used to work for me. If it wasn't for it, I'd still have my own restaurant.
Boiling Point. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Dominic James back in the BBC Radio.
Yeah, it's just a shame for all the fans and everything
that's turned up. Light Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 0. Dan Neil being sent off just before half time. Then we'll head back to the Stadium of Light shortly for second half commentary with Nick Barnes. And
should have been took off when he was on yellow. He's young, he hasn't got the experience to keep calm. I would have took him off when he got that yellow card.
3 o'clock. It's Cardiff against Watford. Coventry take on Norwich. Ipswich are against Preston. Leeds United go up against Bristol City. Leicester taking on Stoke. Millwall versus Hull. Plymouth versus Swansea. QPR are up against Blackburn. Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough take on Huddersfield Town. Southampton against Rotherham. Last night in the Championship it was Birmingham 3, West Brom 1. In the Premier League today at 12:30 it's Luton versus Tottenham, and at half-time it is 0-0, but Tottenham have had a man sent off there, so yeah, just a bit like Sunderland. Tottenham there, just having a man sent off just before the break. In the 3 o'clock kickoffs today, in the Premier League, it is Burnley against Chelsea. Everton take on Bournemouth. Fulham up against Sheffield United at Craven Cottage. Manchester United at home to Brentford. At the 5:30 today in the Premier League, it's Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest at Selhurst Park. Newcastle in action tomorrow, of course. They are away to West Ham. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff there. Here's the Magpies head coach, Eddie Howe.
Yeah, they've done really well this season. They've had some really tough fixtures as well, so I think the start's been really impressive. I think they're an obvious threat from set plays with James Ward-Prowse's delivery and everything that he brings.
I've got some half-time socials here.
A case of refocusing and not being distracted or
right, you can understand what it's all going to be. So I'm focusing on
Wednesday. It's going
ridiculous.
To
Ref's a joke. I don't think the ref is a joke. Sorry, didn't he get himself sent off last season and cost us a game as well? The ref's all about himself and all. Total whacker. Hate to say it, but as soon as he got his first yellow, I said he'd get a red today. I was thinking a bit later in the game. Don't care what people think of Neil. What he does bring for the club, he's a liability. Poor discipline. Also could have got for the first yellow if he'd caught the player. Called it before the game, ref will ruin it. I was the same with him. A lot of people basically just saying that's the immaturity of Dan Neil, and just unfortunately it's ruined a big game for the fans.
Commentary from the International Stadium. Colin joins me now. Colin, Gateshead are flying at the minute.
They are flying. They're not the only team involved in this game that is flying, though. It is 4th against 6th this afternoon, and both of these teams have won 4. Well, Altrincham have won 4 in a row. Gateshead have won 4 of the last 5, so they are both in very, very good form. Gateshead have only lost once at home this season. They've played Altrincham almost countless times, 8 games in the last 3 seasons, playing each other in League and Cup. Both times the last couple of seasons they've played each other in the Cup. They've gone to replays as well. So these are two sides that, even though there's been a fair bit of turnover in the two squads, of course, over the last couple of years, they know each other pretty well. None more so than striker Marcus Dinanga, who joined Gateshead in February from Altrincham, having scored in 3 games in a row against Gateshead for Altrincham, and then there was one more game between the two sides once he was here, and he scored in that one as well. So he's more or less nailed on to score this afternoon, I have decided. Gateshead are missing a couple, Callum Whelan and Kieran Lofthouse missing through injury. Kieran Lofthouse, it's a concussion protocol, so this is the second game that he has to miss. But there is a lot to look forward to in this, Dub.
Both teams playing an exciting brand of football as well, so like you said, expecting lots of goals today.
Yeah, I mean, so they're like I say, they're 4th and 6th in the National League. Gateshead, the joint top goal scorers, and they've got the best goal difference here as well. But that's, I mean, we're going to hear from Mike Williamson later on in the build-up once the Sunderland match is finished, and that's basically what he says. It's going to be 2 very good football teams that come out here, and Altrincham are. They're 6th in the table for a reason. They've got some really nice footballers. They put 6 past Ebbsfleet a few weeks ago. I know Gateshead went down to Eastleigh and put 6 past them as well. But yeah, I'd be very disappointed if this ends up goalless, and I've jinxed it completely now. But there is some really good football to be played this afternoon. You fancy Gateshead? You have to fancy.
Hello,
Gateshead,
mate. How are you doing?
In this league and possibly in the league above as well. But there should be some good football, I'm sure, if nothing else this afternoon.
Yeah, because in midweek as well, they came from behind.
Yeah, well, Dan Nielsen's completely ruined the game, hasn't he?
Showing different aspects of the game at the minute, aren't they?
They are, and I mean, I mentioned just 1 defeat at home all season, but only 1 defeat in the last 5 games as well was at Bromley, and it looks like a blot when you look at the results. And Mike Williamson, who again you'll hear from later on, he talks about this as well. Says, well, I was happy with everything apart from the scoreline. They played well enough. They hit all the metrics, as he says. Yeah. They were happy with everything with the exception of the scoreline. And you're right. They lost a game and then lost the opening goal against Wealdstone, but came back. They're not going to win every game. You are going to lose. Performances are not going to hit the heights every single week. But it's how you bounce back from that. And they bounced back with a really important win against another good football team, actually, in Wealdstone on Tuesday night. And yeah, there is momentum, there is character. You're going to hear from Marcus Dinanga later on. He talks about this being the best dressing room he's ever been in as well. It's a brilliant bunch of people as well as players. And there is so much joy and excitement and positivity around this club, which hasn't always been the case in the last 4 or 5 years, we know. So it's a good place to be.
Excellent. Colin, thank you very much. For now, we have commentary then of Gateshead versus Altrincham kicking off at 3 o'clock. We'll have build-up straight after the Sunderland match here on BBC Radio Newcastle with Colin White and Charlotte Potts. Elsewhere, non-league today in the National League North, Blythe Spartans away to Banbury United. South Shields are at home to Hereford. In the FA Trophy third qualifying round, it's Morpeth. They are up against FC United of Manchester at Craig Park. In the East and the Northern Premier League East Division, Hebburn away to Newton Aycliffe, Ashington at home to Stockton, Concert at home to Ossett United, and Dunstan away to Pontefract Collieries. In the Scottish Lowland League, Berwick Rangers are up against East Kilbride this afternoon. Tomorrow, in the Women's Championship, Durham go away to Charlton. That's a midday kickoff. And Sunderland women are away to Birmingham. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. And Sunderland are flying as well. They are second in the league, and the Sunderland head coach, Mel Ray, has been talking to our Sunderland commentator, Nick Barnes.
I think people probably underestimate how hard it is to coach a part-time team in a full-time league. It was really challenging, really difficult. You're not just trying to manage them here, you're trying to manage them when they're not here as well. And in the end, we survived last season by the scruff of our neck, I suppose, and we're on the end of some unlucky results, so to speak. But now being full-time, I think you can see what the staff can do with a full-time team, and we just need to keep building that and hopefully keep strengthening the team going forward.
And back on the bus at the weekend, I mean, your away form has been good.
Yeah, it has.
There should be no fears for you going to St Andrews.
No, we got a good result there last year as well. It's not too far away. We are travelling Saturday to stay over. Preparation will be done properly. And they're a good team, and we have to be at our best to take something from the game.
That is the Sunderland head coach Mel Ray there, speaking ahead of their game tomorrow in the Women's Championship. They're away to Birmingham. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff. In The Women's National League tomorrow. Newcastle United are away to Liverpool Feds. That's also a 2 o'clock kickoff. Away from football then in Rugby Union in the World Cup today. England are against Samoa. It's a 4:45 kickoff. England's head coach Steve Borthwick is expecting a tough game against Samoa.
I think Samoa are a really strong side. They're powerful. They've got a lot of pace, and they play a physical type of rugby. And what we face is inexperienced players. You see Sopoaga at 10, McFarland in the back row, Luatua in the back row. You're seeing really top quality players. So I think our preparation has been strong. I'm really pleased with the team that we put out this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go on Saturday.
Do you think scrummaging will be particularly big earlier on in the game?
Scrummaging is always very important. You're talking to a type 5 forward here. Scrummaging is always very important. And I think scrums, doesn't matter how many you are, if you have less scrums, each one is even more important.
Still possible to win with 10 men. Be tough. It's going to be very, very tough, Colin. I mean, it was very, very tough to break this team down with 11 men on the pitch, which didn't really look like they're cutting through Middlesbrough.
A good number of games with each other, and I think that's the right one to start. You then look at the bench, and I start seeing you mentioned Kyle coming on. His athleticism that he brings as a tight end prop, the speed he brings. Theo Dan, the speed and power he brings, and Joe, the experience he brings onto the pitch. So I think we're in a strong position there in the front row.
That is England's head coach Steve Borthwick there, speaking ahead of England's game against Samoa. It's a 4:45 kickoff in Pool D there. In Pool B, it's Ireland versus Scotland tonight at 8 o'clock. Scotland having to win with a bonus point or by denying their opponents by a losing bonus point to progress from Pool B and reach the quarter-finals at Ireland's expense. Only a Scotland win by an unlikely 21 points or more, with Ireland collecting a single losing bonus point, would take both sides through at the expense of South Africa. In Pool C, it's Wales against Georgia today at 2 o'clock. In the Rugby Union's Premiership Cup tomorrow, the Newcastle Falcons are at home to Caldy. It's a 2:15 kickoff tomorrow. Dean Gray and Tamara Gray will have full match commentary through the BBC Sport website and app, and Dean Gray has been talking to the Falcons head coach Alex Codling.
Without question, we've already seen from the first 40 minutes at Ampthill, from our game against Bedford, there's a lot of quality in the Championship. They're tough games, and also that this for Caldy will be a huge game for them as much as it's.
Well, we just need to keep a cool head and make sure we don't get another player sent off. Have we got any more players on yellow?
This year, so we're certainly not underestimating them, I should say, but there's a big focus for us.
Yeah, need to be careful that way as well.
That is the Newcastle Falcons head coach Alex Codling there, speaking ahead of the Falcons match in the Premiership Cup tomorrow at home to Caldy at 2:15 kickoff. Just a reminder, we do have commentary through the BBC Sport website and app tomorrow. Just quickly, and basketball, last night in the BBL Championship, the Newcastle Falcons lost at home to the Leicester Riders 92-85 in that one. They're back in action tomorrow at 3 o'clock. They're away to the Sheffield Sharks. In the darts last night in the World Grand Prix quarter-finals, Chris Dobey from Bedlington, he lost 3-2 to Josh, 3 sets to 2 against Josh Cullen. And just quickly a reminder, in the ice hockey tomorrow, the Whitley Warriors are away to the Widnes Wild. Face-off is at 5:30. Time though here on BBC Radio Newcastle to head back to the Stadium of Light for second half commentary of Sunderland versus Middlesbrough.
Can you understand it? It's quite hard not to sort of swear at the officials when you're really tense and you're hyped up and it's a big game. Can you understand how difficult it is for some of the players to not to shout or swear at a ref? I mean, we're all sitting here on the couches saying stupid lad, listening to the book. How can you imagine how difficult it would be? I mean, it's like us sitting here and not swearing, or the fans not swearing at the ref. Like, the referee, you effing this, you effing that. You know what I mean? If the fans are doing it, what's it like for the players actually involved on it?
So, when you're talking about talk your way into the booth, in what way has he talked his way into his booth? He must have said something.
Yeah, and
for the referee to react as he did, because it was not involved in the collision.
Nothing was happening. It was obviously happening. Yeah, and then you also got to sort of.
Well, you've seen how surprised I was, because I says to you, all the players are running towards the ref with their heads in their hands. I hadn't a clue what it was.
Considered when his nose is already on a yellow card.
Made a substitution.
Double
And I think
substitution,
all
no,
this.
just the one substitution. Aushish is coming on for Burstow. And I'm wondering if
Well, you made a good point before. I mean, the referee is just—he's all over the place. I mean, a free kick and a yellow card for Middlesbrough.
We'll see shortly. Aushish for the second half. Burstow replaced Sunderland with 10. Middlesbrough to get the second.
Oh well, here we go. Here we go.
They're attacking the Roker end. The second half, they're in their navy blue with the yellow trim, the yellow across the chest. Sunderland, of course, in their red and white stripes.
What they've done, they've altered it a little bit, haven't they? Joby's the one who's going to be sitting in the Dan Neil role.
Yeah.
Ashish is going to play alongside him. Roberts is coming doors as well. He's coming inside. And Barr's virtually just playing as a free role up front.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be doing some defending, and that's what they're going to be doing. And hopefully catch them on the break.
Here's Crooks for Middlesbrough on the right, out to Jones on the wing, and he's trying to find Crooks again.
Are you doing?
Right of the Sunderland penalty area.
Are you doing any more streams, Ant, today?
But the ball backheeled into the path of Aushish, and then played out by Job down onto the halfway line, where it's picked up by Fry, who plays it to the left to Engel, the left back, and back across to the right, and out to Isaiah Jones on the right.
Are you doing any more streams, Ant? Doing any more matches today?
Area, and out behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. Minute into the second half, goalless, but a 10-man Sunderland. As Patterson in his yellow retrieves the ball from behind the goal to take the goal kick.
No, it doesn't.
Well, the landscape transformed now by the sending off, and Middlesbrough will be delighted with the way the game has gone, bearing in mind they lost Riley McGree this week for this week's game. Big miss for them, as they've
well, don't forget the last time.
Not missed him.
The last time we played Middlesbrough up here, didn't they get a player sent off?
Sealt, who was a first-half replacement for the injured Huggins. Patterson kicks clear, drops for Job, passing it out on the right to Hume, and then down the right wing, Roberts trying to get forwards, and eventually back to Dieng, and then bounces through here for, well, they're looking for a free kick, O'Nien and Coburn. It's Isaiah Jones who's put it through to Crooks. Patterson's made the block behind for a corner.
O'Nien's limping.
O'Nien's limping involved, just caught up in that.
Just stopped.
It did, and they were, I think they were all looking back to O'Nien.
I think they was expecting the referee to give a
blow
foul.
for a free kick, but Middlesbrough carried on, and the block, the Patterson block now. Also, there's been a change. They put Hume at right back. I think O'Nien's playing left back now. Double check that in a minute. I think Sealt and Ballard are the centre backs. Corner taken short by Middlesbrough. Greenwood now back to Balassa. Balassa into Smith. There's nobody there with him. He puts the ball in and it's headed over. I think Borough there will be thinking they're kicking themselves. They'll be feeling they should have scored. McNair's headed over the bar for Middlesbrough. So 0-0 it remains.
I think Sunderland should be mentally clever and start winding the Borough players up and try to get one of their players sent off. I think that's what they should start doing.
Yeah,
Sealt, Ballard and O'Nien, and then Clark left wing back and Hume
left wing back.
Right
Oof,
wing back.
that was dirty.
Yeah. Now, Sealt is on the floor, is caught. The referee now, Sealt's down clutching his ankle. It's a Sunderland free kick. Roberts looks frustrated, the ball under his arm, saying, look, Sealt's on the floor, what are you going to do about it? Jared Gillett wanders over to him and just wanders back away from it and lets Ballard and Roberts help him back up on his feet, which he's back on his feet now. Free kick on the halfway line on the right-hand side. 0-0, 50th minute. It's lifted up by Ballard to be headed away by McNair. And now Roberts wrestling with Greenwood. Greenwood looks at the referee thinking his shirt was being tugged. The ball's gone out to Middlesbrough throw on the left.
Trey Hume is playing like a wing,
right wing back.
Clark's left wing back.
McNair pushing it out to Smith on the right hand side on the halfway line.
The atmosphere is totally gone now from the stadium. Like, it's a shame.
Inside then to Hackney at the front of the centre circle, finding McNair. Engels made a run down the left wing. Here's the pass to him, and he's played it straight in the box. Greenwood turns on it, and Ballard manages to get his right foot wrapped round it on the 6-yard line and clear it. Barr has it away on the right wing. He's just stopped it from going out, and then it's played back into the path of McNair. I don't know how that didn't go out, and it's now played across to Crooks. Matt Crooks on this right-hand side. Inside then to Barlassa. Back to Crooks on the right, down to Jones, and then back to Barlassa. He's threaded it through, looking for Greenwood, but Ballard's got in front of him, just holding him off and letting the ball run behind for a goal kick.
Ballard.
Shakes Luke O'Nien's hand. Good defending. 0-0 in the 51st, nearly into the 52nd minute. But a reminder, if you're just joining us, Dan Neil sent off for a second yellow card just seconds before the end of the first half. All the players over on the far side on halfway for Patterson's goal kick. Drives this up onto the head of Hughes.
You can just tell they've been zooming in on some of the Sunderland fans, and they're just sitting there looking sort of bollocks. They look fed up. They look fed up. It's like we're almost a goal down.
Lays it back off to O'Nien. O'Nien swinging it down the left here for Barr on the left wing. Just hooks it back over his head, but it's gone out. To throw to Middlesbrough. Tommy Smith, who wasn't going to start the game, but then an injury to Vandenberg in the warm-up saw Smith recalled to start. Here's Hackney, 21-year-old Hayden Hackney through the centre circle. Paddy McNair, and he will just play it.
What an absolute tackle from Dan Ballard there. Hey, it's absolutely vital we keep this guy fit.
Into the middle to Dan Barlassa.
Absolute rock.
Coburn in the penalty area. Another great block by Ballard, playing it off Coburn for the goal kick.
We've seen 2 or 3 great defending there by Dan Ballard over the last 5 minutes. Excellent timing in the tackle.
Shut up, Roberts, man.
Getting it right.
Patterson then with
God, the players are fired up. Roberts is just mouthing off something rotten to the ref and the linesman. They're not learning.
All the players again on halfway across the far side. The drive through the right.
We could have just been shouted. She could have shouted some Edinson, like, have you seen the price of beans in Sainsbury's or something?
Flag's gone up. Foul. Roberts is furious.
Aye, exactly.
Free kick to Middlesbrough. More frustration for.
Do you think if you shouted you sniff your nana's knickers, that would have been a sending off offence?
It's Luton Town 0, Spurs 1. That game also kicking off at 12:30, and Tottenham, like Sunderland, down to 10 men. Hackney tries to pass the ball forwards, blocked by Hume. It's a throw to Middlesbrough. Drops to Barlassa, back to Engel, inside again to Barlassa, and he plays it out to Crooks on this right-hand side, over the halfway line. Down the right, he's got Jones ahead of him. He cuts inside. He's now got Smith in support.
I mean, is it only swear words that can get you sent off with like for verbal?
Taken off him by O'Nien and cleared by Clark, back up onto halfway.
So he could be ranting and raving at the referee, but he's not even produced a swear word. But the nature of it, the ref can say off you can.
Pushing it on to Hackney, and Hackney's lifted it up, looking for Crooks' run. He's got his head on it, but he's headed it behind. O'Nien was on his shoulder.
Welcome, Diego players, mate. Welcome.
0-0. How's this going to pan out?
Tottenham have had a player sent off.
BBC Radio Newcastle, don't forget. Gateshead Old
Yeah.
at 3. West Ham Newcastle tomorrow at 2. Total Sport back on Monday at 6 with Pridey, Marco Gabbiadini, John Anderson. We've got our Newcastle and Sunderland podcasts.
Racial slurs could be, I suppose.
From BBC Sounds. As the ball picked up half by Middlesbrough.
I doubt it.
Play through to Jones on this right-hand side. A chase for O'Nien to get across to him. Shoulder to shoulder. Jones gets it down in the corner. He's just put him kneeled over the ball for a moment like a rugby player. He's managed to dig it out, and it's won back by Aushish and O'Nien.
Tell you what, if Borough did get a player sent off, you'd hear the stadium like come alive. Like then you would hear it take off.
Play back to McNair, out to Hackney on the right, into Greenwood, back to Hackney on this right-hand side, out to Smith on the right, through to the corner of the penalty, a little back heel by Crooks, down goes Greenwood, no penalty, says Jared Gillett. Out comes Sunderland on the right wing with Hume, still inside the Sunderland half.
We do look good at the back, like.
Back inside to Aushish, and Aushish back
7:45 AM where you are. Where are you anyway, Diego?
Pays it to his left to O'Nien. O'Nien looking for the run of Clark down this left-hand side, chests it down and it rolls out for a throw to Middlesbrough. Smith takes it back to Dale Fry, and he plays it to Paddy McNair, Barlasa, and then to Hackney as they come up to halfway. Middlesbrough with a man advantage. Engel back inside to Hackney. Hackney short pass forward to Sam Greenwood. Greenwood back through Hackney and then out to Smith and out wide to Jones. Isaiah Jones, Clark in front of him, also there, and there's Jones trying to slip it in past O'Nien on the edge of the 6-yard box, who blocks it for a corner. Middlesbrough's fifth corner.
Going to be on Middlesbrough second half, I think. And it's 1-0 Middlesbrough. There we go. Game set, game over. All done.
With Jones.
That was going to happen. Thanks, Dan Neil. Thank you.
Jones to the back of the penalty area where
absolute bell end.
And Barlasa plays it in.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. Thank you.
Shot from Engel, blocked by Job on the penalty spot. Dale Fry chases it across to the far side. Will he keep it in? Plays it into the box. Oh, and Sam Greenwood smashes it into the top corner. He hasn't celebrated overly, but he scored. The youngster once upon a time on the books of Sunderland for Middlesbrough in the 58th minute, and the ball played into him in the corner of the penalty area, the corner of the 6-yard box, and
finish.
He rocketed it into the corner, top corner.
Yeah, it's a test. It's a test of character now from Sunderland.
His first Middlesbrough goal is on loan from Leeds.
Once again at home.
1-0 Middlesbrough 1. So they, as you said, they've got to show a great test of character now. Sunderland got a goal behind. They are a man down. And it's Middlesbrough leading 1-0 through Sam Greenwood. Hackney on halfway to Jones. Down the right side of midfield. Inside then to Crooks. And now Jones goes in the penalty area. Tackled by O'Nien, no penalty. No. Quick look at it from Jared Gillett.
Oh well, just got to dust ourselves down and just look forward to the next game. This game's gone.
In their own half on the right.
2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
In this game, something would happen in the game. We've had drama. Dan Neal sent off at the end of the first half. Sam Greenwood now giving Middlesbrough the lead.
You'll have to get Sky TV and
swinging it out wide to Jones on this right-hand side. Jones running at Clark. Clark skipped over Clark. Jones now edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, it's 2-0. Matt Crooks from 2 yards has smashed it home. 2 minutes after the first, Matt Crooks couldn't miss 2 yards out. As you said, too easy for Jones to get in past Clark.
You know, as much as Jack Clark is great going forward, that defending was poor. Too easy for Jones to get past him.
It's Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 2 on the hour, and they've got a mountain to climb here.
Yeah, once you go to ground, you're out of the game.
Yeah,
you've got to defend a lot better than that. You know, but he still had a lot of work to do. He's fired it across, found Crooks, and tell you what, we've got a mountain to climb.
Crooks' second league goal of the season, scored at Blackburn. So, half an hour to play. 10 men Sunderland, 2-0 down. And backs against the wall. Out to Job. Looks to get it out to Roberts onto Barr. Just inside the Middlesbrough half. Barr, too much for him to do. Middlesbrough get the ball off him. Hackney down the line here to Greenwood. Closed down by Silt, but Greenwood's going to try and go around him. Silt sticking with him, and as he pulled him down, he has. Free kick to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, we're all over the place at the present moment. I think we need to make a change. We've got to gamble now. We've got to try to get back into the game.
Yeah.
You know, you've got him here, you've got Wilson as well. You know, we might have to chase. Well, we are chasing the game, but to do that, we might have to bring them 2 on. It will leave us a little bit open, but that's the only way we're going to get back into this game, Nick.
I was saying beforehand, you know, when you hear about Middlesbrough losing McGree and having illness and all sorts, you always fear then games like that, because suddenly it seems to give the opposition something to play for as it comes through the box, this free kick, and out behind for another corner.
The sending up hasn't helped.
It hasn't helped.
You know, but still, you know, to be fair, we've got to defend a lot better than what we have been. As simple as that. Too easy.
Two soft goals, weren't they? I mean, you know, one on the corner of the 6-yard box, the other 2 yards in front of goal. Here's Jones' short corner, and he slipped it into the penalty. Greenwood, and it's just rolled behind. Ashish was on his shoulder.
Another substitution.
A goal kick to Sunderland, and they're going to make a change. Rigg is going to come on for Sunderland. What do you think will be the? Do you think it'd be for Job? No, it's for Barr. 63rd minute. On comes Rigg. And where's he going? He's having a word with Luke O'Neill. A note has been.
I've got the rugby on now. I've had enough. I ain't watching anymore. I can't be done with it.
It's a dear Luke note.
Will you please pass this on to?
Who's he going to pass this on to? Because he doesn't want Middlesbrough to read it. And he's not sure what to do with it now. He hasn't got a pocket to put it in. He's having to hold it for the moment. It's headed on by Hume. He's over here on the left now. Job stabbing it out. Throw to Middlesbrough. Halfway inside the Sunderland half on the right. And is this another reorganisation? Now Job's been passed the note. Dear Job.
Come on, Wales.
And what's he going to do with it? Hume is now on the left, and they've gone to a 4 again, haven't they? Sunderland. As the ball comes back to Dieng. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough.
I don't think we'd be in this position if we had 11 men on the pitch, mind.
Newcastle. Played down the right wing by Smith, but straight to Ballard. Coburn's on his shoulder, and Sealt tidies up back to Patterson, who kicks this out up onto the head of Smith. If only someone could get a goal in the next 5-10 minutes just to keep the game alive. They can't afford to concede a third. So it is balanced in that respect on a knife edge. McNair up to halfway. Greenwood gets it out wide on the left-hand side, and Engel took his eye off it. It's gone out for a throw. Not an ideal way at the moment to be looking at heading into the international break. O'Nien out to Hume, wide on the left, on to halfway. It's gone straight to Smith, to Jones ahead of him, inside to Crooks, back to Jones on this right-hand side. Jones, ball in here for Coburn to dive at it with Ballard on his shoulder. Ballard just got a touch. It's a corner.
I'll tell you what, Jones on this right-hand side, he's causing new
I wonder if that's why Hume's been put back across here.
Is it harsh to blame Dan Neil for the defeat?
Create that second goal as well. We spoke about that before the game about Jones. He's got tremendous pace.
Corner then on the left. It's Middlesbrough's 7th. And Barlasser again. Quite a lot of bodies.
Let's just get this game out of the road, dust ourselves down. Next game.
It's floated in and it's punched away by Patterson at the post. Out to Barlasser on the touchline, and he plays it into the middle. Tommy Smith. Smith.
If that happens, I'm dancing naked outside of W.H. Smith's window to the theme tune of Black Beauty.
Well, 66th minute. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 2. Their last win here. Middlesbrough came in that sort of wretched spell. 2016. They won 2-1. Patrick Van Arnholt with the Sunderland goal in that game. Patterson waits. Mark Venus is having a conversation with Trey Hume on the touchline. The referees
have we really played poorly,
and
or we're just up,
off, and Latte Lath coming on, and it's got a bit of pace.
Or are we just up against a better side? I mean, a Middlesbrough not like a Leicester City quality.
And Crooks is coming off to be replaced by Morgan Rogers. Former West Brom Manchester City player, signed from City in the summer. So Michael Carrick is going for it here, isn't he, in a sense, freshening up the attack.
How's that like?
The ball.
Thing is, Nick, it's a big test, isn't it?
Yeah.
We talk about the youthness in the team, very young team. Again being in this position, 2-0 down, 10 men.
So now Latte Lat's in the middle.
Yeah, there's trouble over there as well.
And
apparently, all Dan Neil says was, "It's an effing foul," and that was enough to get him sent out.
Referee stop play.
Is it the medics?
I'm not sure what's. I mean,
looks like there's something wrong with the supporters. They've been waving to the pitch to stop the game.
Well, there's the medics running along the bottom of the pitch here now into the stand. They're running up into the Roker end. The players are being called to the touchline by the coaches, and the medics running up into the
game's gone. Just how long is it until we play our next match?
The directives from the EFL changed over medical incidents in stadiums, and there was a spell, you remember, that games were stopped, but that was changed. The games could go on, but in this instance they've decided to stop the play, and all eyes at the moment on the Roker end.
Sounds like a lame excuse by ref, that.
Them lads with the orange visors on. Just this end.
This near side, the near end, there's a group of them. So the players heading back out onto the pitch, actually. Jared Gillett getting them back out.
Once again, at home. Is that going to be our weak spot again, at home?
It looks as though it's the back row, isn't it, in that column, that corner section at the front of the Roker end. Play will resume with a throw. Jack Clark back to Dieng, Senny Dieng, the Middlesbrough keeper. Middlesbrough leading 2-0. 70th minute. Hope whoever is getting treatment is okay.
Sunderland's.
Here's Fry on the right, looking for Latte Lart. He's got above Ballard, but that heads down to Silt. Greenwood trying to get the ball off him, finds Roberts. Roberts under pressure from Engel, and Greenwood gets the ball off him, and Roberts just slightly tugged his shirt. Greenwood's still going, then goes down, and he's going to get Butt Roberts. Yeah, more frustration.
Sam Greenwood.
Yeah. Bubbling over, isn't it? Booking for Roberts. Dan Neil sent off in the first half. Free kick here on the left of the penalty area for Middlesbrough, who lead 2-0. Barlaser will take the free kick. Roberts has been told to step back a couple of yards. Just pushing.
When's our next game then? Is it 2 weeks?
As it's whipped in, and Patterson punches it in the air.
God's sake, so we've got to ponder over this for 2 weeks.
Tries to shoot from the right of the penalty area. Ballard furious with the assistant.
Yeah.
The ball has gone over. It's a goal kick. I think Ballard felt there was a foul in that build-up, but the free kick taken, or the goal kick taken by Patterson to O'Neill, back to Patterson, and Latte Lart is he's lightning over there. He's tried to get on the end of this and smashes it off into touch off the feet of Silt. Latte Lath. Espresso, not espresso, I think.
Latte.
Back to O'Neill. Out to Aushish or Hume. Hume trying to get it forwards. Out to Clark on the left. Aushish ahead of them. Clark cutting inside, trying to find Hume, stretches for it, can't get on the end of it. It's a throw to Middlesbrough. It's just not happening for Sunderland.
It's not happening at all. You know, we could have told that in the first half, Nick.
Ball up to halfway. O'Neill heads it down and it's whipped off the feet of Joe by Rogers. Greenwood to his left. And he's poked it through to Jones. Jones into the penalty area, around Ballard, and he slips it in for the third. Jones rolls it home, wrong foots Ballard, and Middlesbrough lead in the 72nd minute, 3-0.
Yeah. So we're all over the place, Nick.
Yeah,
all over the place.
Dan Neil, you complete knob.
Picked there. There's a great reverse pass by Rogers.
I just hope it doesn't do our goal difference damage. This could be a 5-0 out of this.
Second half. You've got to say he's taken his third goal very, very well. You know, what we don't want to be is on the back end of the
drubbing. I mean, it's
you know,
damage limitation now, isn't it?
Stadium's completely empty out now.
That's where your experience comes in. Yes. You know, you're down to 10 men. You know, you don't concede any more goals, but we just seem to be all over the place. We've lost our shape.
Yes, they have, and you can see they've just come ragged. Yeah, the discipline's got another yellow card here for Clark.
Told you, Middlesbrough's going to be a top 2 side.
At the present moment, Nick, we're looking around for help, that guidance, and you're just looking on that pitch now, and you're thinking, who's going to give it you? The only experienced player you've got on there at the present
top
moment
2. Middlesbrough's going to get top 2. I'm telling you.
Clark,
it'll be Leicester Middlesbrough going up automatics.
Take kindly to anything said to him, and here now is an opportunity for Rigg. If he can get through, he can't. It's come back to Dieng to clear for Middlesbrough, but with just over 15 minutes to go, they are clearly in the driving seat against a 10-man team.
Take it or leave it. It's been a hell of a good win for Middlesbrough. This, whether they're sending off or not, they've done the job on us.
Just trying to keep it to 3-0 now.
They're going to make another couple of substitutions.
Yeah, double.
You know,
switch. Bringing on Samuel Silvera, an Australian. Who is he going to come on for? He's an attacking midfielder. He's going to come on.
Marcus Falls is coming on
for. Force coming on as well, is he?
Is that Crooks, is it?
It's coming on.
Pat Crooks, is it? Or Sam Greenwood?
Greenwood, I think. Yeah, it's Greenwood.
We need to all get Sky TV so we can be in sync. That'll sort it out. We can all on the same level. Because it's hard not to get emotional. You can't it's difficult to be quiet when something happens. It's your passion. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. We really need to find a system where we can all be in sync. Because you cannot not cheer when they score. You can't not say, oh, rub a neck when the other team score. You can't do it.
Job trying to just push it through for Roberts. Rigg can't get a foot round it, and Middlesbrough are going to come out away with this, and they lose it. And
Russian must be getting sick as a chick coming on, and we're getting beat. Last time he came on as a sub against Cardiff, we were losing.
Who comes away with the ball?
Be careful, be careful, be careful.
And the ball goes out. But
we've had one sending off already. You don't want another one.
You don't want it to ball over again, do you? And you're right, Clark's coming off.
He struggled to get in the game.
Yeah,
he has.
Right from the start, isn't he?
You know, the service to him has not been there. And I don't know if that's because you're playing a right footer at left back. He's just not been able to get the service, not been able to get that link up with his fullback today.
No. So here is McNair clearing, headed on by Latte Lath, drops for O'Nien, Job, and then to Hume on this left-hand side. Rogers trying to close him down. Hume has to turn and come back on this near side. And it's been given away again. Latte Lath is trying to get through here on his left, and they smashed it over the angle of bar and post.
We're getting found out, Nick. You know, I'd imagine Tony Mowbray wants that whistle to be blown.
Yeah. Still got 15 minutes just
15
about.
15 minutes, don't concede.
So goal kick, Patterson's going to take this. Reminder, we're followed by full commentary at 3 of Gateshead Altrincham with Colin White and Charlotte Potts.
You know, sometimes, yeah, it's a defeat. Nobody likes to get beat, but hopefully you learn a lot from this defeat. Some of the players,
they've got to learn. That's what they've got to use it as, haven't they? You know,
right.
It's humiliating. There's an offside here against Force.
You know, you learn a lot from the likes of maybe Dan Neil. Maybe you'll have to learn. Okay, especially when you picked up a yellow card, you cannot keep shouting at the referee.
Yeah.
You know.
Dieng at the back, who's had nothing really to do in the second half. It's all been the other end. Here's Engel on halfway, inside to Barlassa. Middlesbrough leading 3-0. Here's Rogers through the middle, a push in the back, free kick. Foul by Aushish, quickly taken by Rogers. Smith back inside to Barlassa. Forwards towards Force. It comes back, though, to Smith and then to Fry on halfway. Hackney, Barlassa, and then through to Silvera, out to Engel, in fact to McNair, and he's swung it back to Fry and back to the goalkeeper, Seny Dieng. Rolled out wide on the left-hand side. McNair back to Hackney, and Rigg is, it's a forlorn chase. Dieng kicks clear, headed on by Hume. Rusin can't get round Smith, and Fry in front of him just passes it back to Dieng. Rusin will try to put the keeper off, but he gets the kick up onto the halfway line. Ballard's having to work hard for this on the shoulder of Marcus Force, and eventually it drops for Latte Lath, and he's got it out wide to Force here on the right touchline. Job giving chase. The ball slipped inside to Rogers, back into the middle to Latte Lath. He's in the D, Ballard's on his shoulder, he's played it to Engel in the penalty area, back to Silvera, and it's come off the back of O'Nien. Silt just trying to keep it in, and Silt should clear, but it's straight to McNair, just inside the Sunderland half. Hackney out to McNair again wide, inside to Silvera, and then back to Paddy McNair. Back onto halfway, We're in the 80th minute now. Monty's 80 on Monday. There's the ball here, Silvera back to Fry, trying to get it back to Fry. It's slipped here though to Aushish. Aushish now to Rusin. Rusin, low shot. It's blocked by Dieng, spilled it, but Aushish couldn't get in the spilled ball before Dieng had grabbed it. A moment in the second half.
I think Rolson's had a shot on target.
Yeah. But a simple save. Middlesbrough lead 3-0. So here now again, Aushish on the left-hand side. Up to halfway, wide on the left to Hume. Hume into Rusin, halfway inside the Middlesbrough half. Back to Aushish, into the middle to Job. Job has got to turn Latte Lath, and then it's played across to Silt, and then Roberts back to Silt. Job again, just forwards right of the centre circle, looking for Rigg on that far side with Roberts. Back to Job. Job back onto the halfway line to Ballard. Another change coming from Middlesbrough. Alex Bangura is going to come on for Middlesbrough, left back, left winger. Sierra Leone international. Ballard wide to Silt on halfway, just in the Middlesbrough half. Back to Luke O'Nien on the left of the centre circle. He makes a forage forwards, then played out in front of Hume to touch. Throw to Middlesbrough. 82nd minute, substitution coming, Engels coming off. Straight swap. Engel jogging off and gets a helping hand from Aushish as he gets to the touchline now, and Bangura comes on. Tony Mowbray applauding, just trying to gee his team up. Throw for Middlesbrough from Smith to Hackney. It's won back by Rigg. He tries to twist and turn and runs into Fry, who wins a free kick. It's just the case of the game being seen out now.
Yeah, you've got to see it. You've got to see the game out, Nick. Don't concede any more goals. Don't get any more yellow cards. You just got to put it down. It's just been one of them afternoons.
Yes, yes, and hasn't it been just 43,584 the attendance this afternoon. 40-odd thousand of them the most disappointed, and many of them left. Actually, there's a lot of empty seats now around the stadium, but not in the upper section of the north stand, where the Middlesbrough fans celebrate what is going to be an inevitable win. It's just if Sunderland can keep it to 3-0, or can they get a consolation or two? Not with a ball like that from Rusin, who's given it away. Rogers now to Silvera. Rusin's trying to win it back, but Silvera's still got it. Rusin desperately trying to get it back. Tries to jump at Silvera, who comes away with it. Now he finds force in the penalty area. He pulls it back here, and it comes off Ballard and Latte Lath. It was Ballard who got the touch to clear it. Rusin's trying to get it out, and Force has rugby tackled him effectively. Free kick to Sunderland. Michael Carrick will be absolutely delighted with this win.
Oh yes, definitely so. They're on a good run.
Yeah. Third, fourth consecutive league win. And now a free kick for a foul on Rigg on halfway on the right-hand side. Let's come back to Ballard. Taps it to O'Nien. O'Nien at the back of the centre circle. Short pass to Job. Job looking for the run of Rigg. McNair just heads it away into touch on the far side. Taking no chances with Chris Rigg on his shoulder. Roberts back to Sealt, back again to Jobe. Jobe in the centre circle to O'Nien, and O'Nien out wide to Rusin, inside to Aushish. Aushish slips it through to Hume, back to Aushish. Aushish opens up a little bit on the left of the penalty area. His ball is deflected into the path of Roberts here, and it bounces wide of the right post. His left foot shot off a touch from the defender for a Sunderland corner, their first of the second half.
Great play by Ashish.
He did well there. Ashish will take the corner. Roberts at the back of the box. In it comes to the back of the 6-yard box, and it's bobbled away behind for a goal kick. Ballard trying to appeal for the corner, wasn't going to get it. '86th minute now, but there's going to be a couple of minutes added on for Sunderland to see this game out. Now it's up with Force, Marcus Force, and it's bounced off of Silvera for O'Nien to get it back to Ballard, now to Ashish. He's clipped it on down the left here for Rusin to chase. Rusin on the shoulder of who is it? Balassa trying to get round him. Can't get the ball off him. Back to Hume inside in the centre circle to Jobe, out wide to Roberts. Roberts on the right-hand side now, dribbling with Sealt inside of him, and into the middle to Jobe. Jobe lifting it into the box for Roberts, but it's headed out by Bangura and to the halfway line, and Ballard puts a foot on it, pushes it forwards to Jobe, back to Ballard, inside to Aushish. Little touch, nice touch from Jobe to Ballard, through to Roberts. Why couldn't they have played like this earlier in the game? Roberts rolls it into Rigg. It's left for Sealt, who smashes a shot which is palmed away behind by Dieng.
Good play.
Great effort.
Yeah.
So a corner. It's come back to Jobe. He shoots, but wide. Behind. So now in the 88th minute. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 3. As the game winds down to a conclusion, the conclusion's obvious. It's just a case of seeing it out. So now back to Dieng. Up to halfway, over the head of Force. It drops for Latelaf, blocked by Ballard, who pushes the Ivory Coast forward away. The throw to Middlesbrough on the right here. Michael Carrick retrieves the ball. Smith takes it from just a few yards down from him, back to Fry, inside to McNair, back to Dieng, out to Fry on the right here, and again out to Smith, back to Fry, hooking it down the line, looking for Force, and Ballard has to come back in front of him and pass it back to Patterson.
Have a touch.
Didn't hit it cleanly, it's come down on the wing. Rusin's picked it up in the end from Rogers, lays it off to Hume, out to Ashish, and back then to Ballard at the corner of the penalty area, back to Patterson. He's been closed down by Latelaf, but he's got the ball out on the right to Sealt, and he's let it run past him and out for a throw. A symptom of the game, I suppose, and the ball back to McNair from the throw for Middlesbrough. Their second away win, their first coming last time out at Watford. Smith back to Fry, into the centre circle, Hackney, back to McNair.
You're playing for Barcelona, Nathan.
Forwards
So
through
back
to Rogers. Then across on the left, Silvera. You've got Bangura making a run on the left as well. Silvera's carrying it forwards into the box for Latelaf.
Thanks, Colin. Cheers for tuning in.
Patterson saves, falls straight to Marcus Forss, and in the 90th minute, he makes it 4-0.
Too easy, Nick. And what we said before, you know, if you're going to get beat, okay, don't concede any more goals.
That's it. You've come.
You know, you look at the score now. Yes, we're down to 10 men, but 4-0. It's like it's a drubbing.
Yeah, it's a humiliating afternoon for Sunderland. And Forss was going to make no mistake for the fourth. Simple task just to slot it home. And
you know, all that good work we've done in regards of, you know, keeping clean sheet.
Yeah.
You know, we've conceded 4 this afternoon.
It's just 5 minutes adding on. Just a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in football.
Yeah.
All the warnings made by Tony Mowbray, you know, these things can change suddenly. Start of the afternoon hearing about Middlesborough's problems, and it's Middlesbrough now with those problems who...
Yes, hello.
Nil up and on the attack again.
We've been poor.
Barlassa.
Can I just ask a question? I'm being serious here. Will you be happy with a point?
He's in the penalty area, trying to slip it across here to Banguru. He will have to chase to keep this in, which he does. And he's on the left of the penalty area, and he's trying to slip it into Forss now, and Silt manages to knock it behind for a corner.
You can't. I'm sorry, but you can't blame 4-0. You can't blame Dan Neil for 4-0. I'm sorry, like, but I mean, you can make it harder for the team to score, but I mean, people are just going to be focused on referee, Dan Neil, blah blah blah. But we're overshadowing the fact like Sunderland have been very, very poor today.
Which is nearly empty. Much of the rest of the stadium now empty.
But the game changer was Dan Neil. Was that start of the avalanche?
Short corner into the second minute of the 5. Here's Hackney, and Hackney lifts one into the box and is caught by Patterson. And Patterson just waiting the ball in his right hand to get the ball away and upfield. He rolls it to O'Nien on this left-hand side. O'Nien inside again to Joe, back to O'Nien. O'Nien rolling it up towards Rusin, and he somehow managed to get it to Job through a couple of deflections. Job out wide on the left to Rigg, poking it down the line at a stretch. Out it goes. It's a throw to Middlesbrough on the right-hand side here, in their own half. Michael Carrick stands with his left hand to his
I'm going to carry on my stream. I'm going to do a Gillette Soccer Saturday special.
Job done. 4 second-half goals against 10-man Sunderland. Costly sending off, as it turns out. And I don't sort of question then how much, you know, it just shows you how valuable Dan Neil is to the team without him in it.
Yeah.
Out to Forss on this right-hand side. Back inside again to Barlassa. Back out to Marcus Forss, the Finnish international. Back to Tommy Smith. Fry, Hackney, as Middlesbrough just play it amongst themselves here on the halfway line. In the 3rd minute of the 5 being added on, leading 4-0. Rogers gets away from Job, and a strong challenge, good challenge by Ballard. He's shoved in the back by Latela. It's a free kick to Sunderland. Ballard's furious. The referee's ignoring his pleas, and the free kick is quickly taken. Aushish out to Roberts, and Roberts wide, back inside to Aushish. Aushish now back again to Silt, forwards to Job. Job out wide to Roberts, and it's one back and then slipped out.
Are fans been a bit harsh on Burstow, do you think?
4th minute of the 5 being added on by Jared Gillett. O'Nien, Forss goes to close him down, across square to Ballard, out wide to Silt, back to Patterson. Patterson kicks it out here low to Hume, taps it back to O'Nien. Back to Hume on the left-hand side here. Hume's whipped off him by the Forss running in behind him for a throw to Sunderland on the left. Rusin's going to take it back to Trey Hume. Back again to O'Nien. He's played a ball, lovely ball, wide to Roberts on the right. It's stabbed away by Banguru, but only as far as Sealt back down the right. Sheesh, he's tried to swing across in. Silvera's blocked it. We're in the last minute. It's a throw to Sunderland. Quickly taken from almost on the advertising board by Roberts. Back to Sheesh and back to Luke O'Nien on the centre spot. And he plays it to his left to Hume. Back to O'Nien, who's trying to get it up to O'Sheesh. Bangura is on his shoulder. It breaks for Rigg.
Has it really made a difference, though? I would not getting a bit. You reckon so?
Running at Bangura on his left foot, over it goes, sails into the now, well, over the empty seats actually, and down the tunnel.
Yeah.
The groundsman punching it back onto the pitch. And we've got seconds, literally seconds left of
the Sunderland using banter page is just put simply not good enough from the team, not helped in the slightest by the most inept performance from the officials I have seen in my 19 years as a season ticket holder.
Senny Dieng kicks the ball. Just waiting Dieng for the players to drift upfield. Dieng now with the goal kick. Referee whistle to his mouth. He puts an end to Sunderland's misery. Michael Carrick comes to shake Tony Mowbray's hand.